One man is being victimized by our own government. One man who they fear, yet who millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Well, I think the DNC needs to look into this and take appropriate action, and I'm sure that they will. What's disturbing to us is that experts are telling us that Russian state actors broke into the DNC.
The Russians have landed.
This whole danged island's under attack by Russia.
Stole these emails, and other experts are now saying that the Russians are releasing these emails for the purpose of actually helping Donald Trump. I don't think it's coincidental that these emails were released on the eve of our convention here, and that's disturbing. And I think we need to be concerned about that. I think we need to be concerned that we also saw last week at the Republican convention that Trump and his allies made changes to the Republican platform to make it more pro-Russian.
The Russians have captured the airport. Yeah.
And we saw him talking about how NATO shouldn't intervene to defend our Eastern European allies if they're attacked by Russia. So I think when you put all this together, it's a disturbing picture, and I think voters need to reflect on that.
Listen, you guys, we've just got to get organized. For God's sake, we've got to get organized.
What evidence is there that the Russians were behind this in terms of the hacking or in terms of the timing by WikiLeaks?
Well, we need to let the experts speak on this. It's been reported on in the press that the hackers that got into the DNC are very likely to be working in coordination with Russia.
Just don't panic.
And again, I think if the Russians in fact have these emails, again, I don't think it's very coincidental that they're being released at this time to create maximum damage on Hillary Clinton and to help Donald Trump.
But it's a very, very strong charge that you're leveling here. You're basically suggesting that Russians hacked into the DNC and now are releasing these files through WikiLeaks to help elect Donald Trump.
Well, this isn't my assertion. There are a number of experts that are asserting this. I think we need to get to the bottom of these facts, but that is what experts are telling us. Experts have said that it is the Russians that in fact went in and took these emails, and then if they are the ones who took them, we have to infer that they are the ones then releasing them.
It's all over. It's all over. We haven't got a chance. Not a chance.
Obviously, you're not going to answer the question about specifics.
I don't have all the facts.
The Russians are coming! The Russians!
I've had it. Here we go again. A few moments later.
Director Brennan, good morning to you. Would you pull back the curtain for us? Help us understand how this type of mis and disinformation is identified and then flagged within the U.S. government?
Well, there has been a concerted effort on the part of the U.S. intelligence community and law enforcement community to try to uncover and reveal and then thwart these Russian information and disinformation operations. We've had many years of experience in the U.S. government.
Here we go again. That first initial clip with Robbie Mook talking about Hillary was from 2016. 2016, 8 years ago. And they dusted off the same stupid playbook, and they're running it yet again. So what does this all mean? Just understand what this means. It means widespread panic. These people are freaked out. They have no idea what to do. Kamala is plummeting. The polls are fake. And now they've dusted off this playbook, and they're running it again. And it's funny because I've seen some of the comments in the chat here. Some of the people are like, what emails? Because you probably don't remember that they did it all over again in 2016. That's when they started this stuff. And so now, 2016, we've gone back to the future. He's talking about Russia again. It's unbelievable.
Of having to deal with first Soviet and then Russian disinformation activities. The challenge now is that with the development of the digital domain and with so many social media platforms and other opportunities in terms of podcasts and YouTube videos and other types of things, the Russians have a wide array of capabilities that they...
Podcast coming for us all. They found a new place to go. As soon as Donald Trump started going on various podcasts, some really big podcasters, now it's like, well, we got to shut this down. He can't go on talk on Elon Musk on Twitter/X. He can't go talking to Joe Rogan. He can't go talking to all these big streamers. Can't have that. It's just disinformation. What are we going to do about it? Widespread panic is taking hold in the Democrat Party.
Can use to try to influence U.S. public opinion and U.S. elections. And I must point out, this election in 2024 is much...
Remember, this is one of those dudes who put together the 50 people who signed that letter and said that the laptop was fake and phony and Russian. And they're putting this guy right back on the air to say the same stuff all over again. If you can't sniff the panic from these people, I don't know what to tell you. I hope you remember that. They all came out, all the intelligence community. Oh, this is Russian disinformation. Oh, the laptop is fake. It's an op. We just found out that conspiracy theory was true. It wasn't fake. It was 100% real. And now, as if you people don't remember, don't have a clue, can't think back 8 years, they're dusting it off all over again. It's like it never even happened. They're running rerun after rerun, and it just goes to show you how stupid, I mean absolutely stupid, must a Democrat voter be to be buying this stuff once again. It's insane. And let me show you some further desperation. And speaking of disinformation, this is probably one in the same. I pulled this today from Twitter/X. You're not going to believe this one. The Democrats, Kamala Harris, take to the skies over college football games to keep the spotlight on Project 2025. I thought these were the people who were terrified of what disinformation or misinformation could actually do. And all she does, all the entirety of her campaign does, is lie and misinform. They want to keep the spotlight on Project 2025. What spotlight and what Project 2025? How many times does Donald Trump have to say it's not my deal? I got nothing to do with it. And so they're deciding, here's what they're going to do. Like I'm going to donate to you people. Democrats aim to the sky over college football games. And what they're going to do, the Democrats have announced, yes, you can see some of this here. Hold on, let me pull this out so you can see it by itself. Because this is just complete idiocy. And stop asking me to donate. I'm not donating to you. All right. So Here's what they're going to be doing. Democrats have denounced it in hundreds of ads and billboards, printed oversized book at convention prop, and mentioning it seemingly every speech and press statement. Now they will take their campaign against a conservative Project 2025 blueprint, misinformation, written by allies of Republican Donald Trump, to the skies above college football stadiums in key swing states. So what they're doing is they're flying these banners over Michigan Stadium, where the Wolverines are playing. Texas. And they're playing this big game, and they're out there running these banners saying, "Get away from Project 2025, vote Kamala." And they're also going to fly it over Georgia's home game. Can you smell that? I mean, seriously, you guys must be able to smell that complete, utter desperation. I've been to a lot of football games. I've played a lot of football games. I can tell you, the people in those stands drinking beer, well, certain college campuses allow it, and what they're going to be talking about is not going to be Project 2025. That ain't happening. Ain't happening at all. It's a waste of money. She's desperate. I saw this one earlier today as well. I want to bring to you. Leading Democrats are sounding the alarm bell that Kamala Harris may cost them the House of Representatives. Harris is bombing in her speeches and is plummeting quickly in the polls. That's pretty much spelling desperation for these people. They know she's toast. It's over. I had somebody email me yesterday and they said, "Barry, you can't keep telling people it's over, because you got to get them to vote." So let me make it very clear. Let me put the asterisk on this. It's over if you people and I and everybody else does their job. Get out there, vote, volunteer, watch the polls, do everything we possibly need them to do, because they are desperate and they're gonna cheat. So if we make sure we take care of business, it's looking really, really good for Trump at this point. Now, before he gets on, because I want to apologize getting on the computer thing, and I don't know if it's the guys upstairs or what, but we got it fixed. We're live. We're working this. I told you we were going to give away a trip to South Florida. And I'm going to announce it today. I'm going to announce it a couple times. And then I'm going to give it away during the debate. So, here's the first announcement. You're going to get airfare for 2 people from anywhere in the continental United States. Sorry, Hawaii. You're going to get luxury accommodations in a hotel for 3 days and 2 nights. And then you're going to go to dinner with Robin and myself. And it's free. You can bring whatever spending money you want. You can hang out on the beach, drink a couple of pina coladas. That's up to you. Go down to the Hard Rock if you want to rent a car. But I'm going to bring you guys down here, enjoy some time on the beach, and then if you want to put up with Robin and I for dinner, we're going to do that as well. Here's how you enter. You guys ready? In 10 seconds, I am going to show you how to enter. So you can take a screenshot, go ahead and write this down, do whatever you need to do, take a picture, but you got to enter. You can't win it if you don't enter. So here's how you enter. You go to fanfareshop.org/enter-trip/. All you got to do is go there, and you get to meet me and my lovely wife for dinner, and you get to hang out like royalty down here in South Florida. Oh, I gotta put this on the screen real quick. This is awesome. This is Trump coming in right now. Yeah, that is so cool. He's flying in. He's buzzing the crowd about the land in Wisconsin, Mosinee, Wisconsin, and he just flew over the crowd before he drops the plane in, and then the plane's going to basically be as a backdrop right behind him. So there's Trump Force One getting ready to come in for the rally. Awesome. What an awesome sight. If you guys have never seen that, it's incredible. Watching that thing come in. I mean, it's not quite Air Force One, but it's so pretty, and the pilot he has is amazing. This guy can do some serious maneuvers that low with that big of a plane. The guy must have been a Navy pilot or Air Force pilot, because he's incredible. But in any event, let's go back to this in case you missed it. Go ahead and copy that down. fanfareshop.org. enter/trip. So let me just also make a little confession. That's an old website that I had for Fanfare. I haven't updated it that much. Ashley and I are going to be working on it, getting some products up on there. Don't try to buy anything because all those products are there from before. As I'm updating, it's under construction. But I wanted to get this page up so you could actually register for this trip. Register, register, register. All the videos from now until Tuesday, I will include this information. And then on Tuesday, during the debate, I will be giving away. We will be plucking a name out the box per se. We have a randomizer that's going to pick a name, and two of you, one person and their guest, will get flown to South Florida. We'll pick the date where it's convenient for you, and we'll get you down here. We'll go out to dinner. We'll have a good time. Sound good? Last time I did this, we had an overwhelming amount of people that, I think it was something like 6,000 people entered to win the prize. So I'd love to have you. I know Robin's anxious to meet some of you people, and maybe if I can, convince her and twist her arm, I can get Ashley down here from North Carolina so you can have dinner with all three of us. But in any event, last time for a little while here, go to fanfareshop.org. Go ahead and fill out the information, and you could win a trip to South Florida. On me. Well, actually, I have to say on me and the wife because she's the boss. I just get to do this stuff, but she gets the boss, and she controls the purse strings. So in any event, love to have you. I'm going to go real quick here. I want to talk to you about Lear Capital. On Tuesday night, during the debate, well, not during the debate, before the debate, we're going to go live a little bit early. 8 o'clock, we're going to go live. I'm going to have the CEO of Lear Capital on here live answering all your questions. Why should you buy gold? How can you buy gold? How much can you buy it for? Where does he see it heading? Why is it so important right now going before an election? I think you guys are going to enjoy everything he has to say, and I'm just going to sit back and let him answer your questions. So Lear Capital will be here live on Tuesday before the debate. You know that inflation is still on the rise all across America, and our dollar is being devalued more and more every single day by the Federal Reserve and their massive money printing schemes. So you have to ask yourself, are my investments really safe? I doubt it. Listen to this. Government debt is growing at the rate of $1 trillion every 100 days. Since 2020, every dollar in your wallet has lost 24% of its purchasing power. And in just the last 18 months, what you need to survive as a family, your groceries, your necessities, have gone up by $11,000 per family. These are unsustainable and outrageous numbers. That's why I'm recommending that you call my friends at Lear Capital. They'll show you how easy it is to move some of your assets into gold and silver. Assets that are growing in value instead of keeping them in a dollar, which is declining in value. And as we approach the election, and with all the volatility in the world, now is the time to take some action. Call Lear today at 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com. When you go to Lear, you'll be able to download a de-dollarization guide. It will show you specifically how your dollar is deflating every single year. There's no obligation, it's just free information. You'll learn how to protect your hard-earned money with gold and silver. Just so you know, Lear has over 27 years of experience, thousands of 5-star reviews, $3 billion in trusted transactions, and is the only company with a 24-hour risk-free purchase guarantee. Call Lear at 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com. And when you give them a call, ask how you can get $15,000 in bonus gold with a qualifying purchase. All right, so I'm seeing a few of the people here saying they're having an issue with the spam on that website. I may have it restricted too tight after this broadcast. Go ahead and keep the link. I'll go ahead and basically lower the spam filter on it. So if you're running into a spam problem while you're entering, I'll go ahead and take care of that. I'll lower it and just have as many emails show up, some of them being from who knows where, but I'll take care of that. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Will the debate really happen? I'm leaving this up so you guys can see when the plane comes because it's a beautiful sight. Will the debate really happen? Yes, I think it is at this point. She's cramming. She's in Pittsburgh, I believe, trying to cram. I don't know how you're going to do it. If you don't know foreign policy, if you don't know the economy, you're not going to learn it in a couple days. If you don't know anything about business, you're not going to learn it in a couple of days. All they're doing is basically setting her up for zingers so that at any time she can come back with some, funny retort that can try to sting Trump. But if people actually watch this debate for what it is, there's no possible way this woman can stand toe-to-toe and answer real questions. Real questions. Who knows what these moderators are going to ask her, but at the same time, all she's doing right now, I guarantee you, is basically trying to figure out what kind of zingers and funny things and, stinging things she can throw out there at Trump. Well, coming from you, a convicted felon, I can just see it right now. And it's going to be so transparently fake. Well, I know you've been accused of, doing this and doing that with a woman, so you may not understand what we women think. Watch for that. It's going to be constant. You've been bankrupt 15 times, and the city of New York has got a $484 million judgment against you, and you got kicked off of Twitter when it was Twitter. But now let me answer the question. Now that I've got my zinger out, it's going to be over and over and over. And of course, the left's going to applaud her and say, "You go, girl! You go, girl! You got him." Yeah, right. Yeah, he might make her cry. She's not going to know it. He shouldn't debate. That's a good thing. Welcome, Africa. Thank you, as we all are voting for Trump. Yeah, all lib nuts, libtards are fake. I agree with that. It's all she has. You're absolutely right. That is going to be the entirety of what she's doing. They are prepping her to be a comeback retort queen. Because that's what the left wants. They don't want to talk about substance. They can't talk about substance. There's no possible way that they can even speak to the economy, the border. She's going to say, well, you killed the legislation that Joe and I were putting together. I'm not in Congress. What are you talking about? Oh, you told your flunkies not to. It's just going to be, when you look at it, there's nothing. There is literally nothing she can say policy-wise that makes any sense. None. Because all he's got to say, and I've said it before, well, why aren't you doing it? I love this plane's coming in for a landing right now. Look at that. Look at that beautiful bird coming in behind the building. So what's going to happen, it's going to land here, and then it's going to come around behind there and park right behind, in that gap right there, they're going to park the plane. So it's a beautiful backdrop with tens of thousands of people out there. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome sight. Robin and I have seen it down here in Miami. It's beautiful, especially with the weather. Let's see here. Greetings from Wales, Australia. Nice, thank you. One thing is for sure, you can see how evil they are. You can tell. I know a lot of you don't watch news because I have to watch it so I can show you. But now they want to put Elon Musk in jail. I'm going to do a video probably later tonight. But now they're actually calling for Elon Musk to be put in jail. They're not doing the type of things that somebody who feels confident like they're winning would do. You don't act this way when you're ahead. You don't act this way when you're confident. You would never, ever have rolled out all of this Russia crap again if you felt confident in winning. As you guys can see, the big bird's turning around. It's on the ground, and just beautiful how this thing works. How they do these at the airport. They should do them always at an airport, because there's nothing like him buzzing the crowd and bringing that big bird in and then lining it up right behind the stage. It's awesome. Yes, that is your president right there. Yeah, they want to put Elon in jail. Wow, there's a lot of trolls up in here today. We must be really making these people nervous. They got nothing better to do on a Saturday afternoon. Oh, that's right, because their candidate doesn't do anything. Kamala Harris, she doesn't do rallies. She doesn't do speeches. She's holed up cramming. And they're calling us traitors for Trump. Okay, we see you. We see what you're all about. Good luck with that. Let me know the next time Kamala Harris can do a rally and have Air Force Two or whatever jet she's using these days roll up behind a crowd like that. Let me know if she's got it like that, you trolls. Let me know on Tuesday. By the way, moderators, come Tuesday, basically eat your Wheaties. I'm telling you, these people are going to go nuts on Tuesday. Be prepared. But make sure you guys are here Tuesday at 8. We're going to go pretty early with the talk with from Kevin from Lear Capital, and then lead into a couple other things I've got planned. Let's see here. Yeah, they're wicked, all right. They, having played sports basically my entire life until I got too old, I never got involved in a competition where I wanted evil, bad things to happen to my opponent. I didn't wish anything. I definitely didn't want anybody to get hurt. I wanted to beat you. I wanted to beat you down. I wanted to make you submit. I didn't want you to hurt. I didn't want to go after your family. I didn't want to go after your dog, your friends, your co-workers. I didn't want to do all that. I saw something today with Bill Maher on his show, and he was talking about RFK Jr., and he's starting to distance himself from these nuts, these trolls, because I don't know if you guys know it. Oh, what an awesome site. I don't know if you guys know it, but Robert F.K. Jr. is married to actress Cheryl Hines. Cheryl Hines used to be on the show with Larry David called Curb Your Enthusiasm. That comedy was a fun show, and she was getting trashed, not just by the trolls, but other actors. How could you live with yourself? What kind of woman are you that would live and stay married to a guy like RFK Jr.? And Bill Maher, to his credit, stood up and said, even the mafia doesn't do what these libnuts are doing. You don't attack the woman. What is wrong with you people? She's his wife. She has nothing to do with what he's doing politically. She's there to support him. And they went on X and they absolutely trashed this woman. And I love that Bill Maher stood up and said, man, that's wrong. Because these people have no off switch. They will do anything and everything to basically try to personally hurt anybody who doesn't think like them. Anybody, including Cheryl Hines, an actress. They must think they're part of the deep state, because all this election is the deep state versus the people. Yes, trolls are not going to be remembered by those villains. Yep, nope, they have nothing to say. I would love for, I've said it many times for trolls when they come in here, is, yeah, we'll talk to you. You got something to say? Let's just go ahead and have some discussion. They don't want to discuss. They just want to spew venom. Awesome playing. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen this before, that's why I'm leaving it up. Normally I go to me, because it should be my attention, my show. You should be looking at me. But this is awesome. He puts that big bird right behind the stage, and if they pull out on the camera, you'll see the stage is like a bowl, and behind the stage it's empty. It's just the runway, and that plane sits right behind him. So as he's speaking today, that thing is going to be right behind him, just sitting there. Gorgeous, absolutely. That's one fact why. What to say? I won't go into CNN. The commentators are just so cruel. This is supposed to be the tolerant people. Remember they said the left is tolerant? When they go low, we go higher? No, when they go low, you have set the lowness. You're the people who are basically been the sewer. We're not the ones going into grammar schools with twerking people. Nope. We're not the ones walking down the street with banana hammocks in front of kids, shaking their butt. That ain't us. There's only one side that's doing that. There's only one side where the Transformers are, doing some crazy stuff. got to watch my words here. You know what I'm saying? Kamala has to pay people to show up for her, and they don't even show. Elon, they put him in jail. Elon will buy the jail. That's pretty funny. Democrats behave like it's a high school election. Yeah, they do. The left is so intolerant. So intolerant. I remember growing up in Connecticut, obviously, a lot of Democrats, but they were Democrats. They weren't leftists. They weren't Marxists. These people were doctors and lawyers and had kids who went to prestigious universities. And, I went to prep school and we all got along. It didn't really matter what your political affiliation was. Yeah, you had some ideas and they had some ideas. And we could disagree, but hey, let's go out and have a beer. Let's go bowling. Let's do whatever. Let's go to a party. Not now. Not now. Ever since Obama came in office, it's cold shoulder time. You people are flipping nuts. Absolutely gonzo. America can't be like that. This, what you're looking at on the screen, that's America. How could you not look at this scene right here with tens of thousands of Americans, this guy getting off a magnificent jet and coming out to talk to people? How is that not American? Because he's the orange man? It's incredible. Down here it's still really warm, so if you win the trip, make sure you pack lightly. Shorts and t-shirts are required down here. But there in Wisconsin, I got to believe it's a nice, cool day. Nice, crisp day. I saw some of the people playing at Michigan today, and you could see that people had sweaters on. It's that time of year where it's just nice and crisp in the air. These people aren't going to bake out in the hot sun. It's a great day. But for libnuts, they go crazy. Absolutely crazy. God bless America, USA, Trump. Yeah. What is the purpose of those things in the boys' room? I don't know. You'd have to ask a girl, because a girl in high school is the only person who would be using these things. That's just there as propaganda for some reason to get some of the boys interested in. I don't even want to go there. Don't even want to go there. Who are the hero troll killers today? They're out there. I've seen Ashley. I think I've seen Sinvi. you got to do them. Let's see what we got here. He's still waiting to come out. We're not here. I live in Ohio. It's 62 degrees today. Ooh, I miss that weather that used to be like this in Connecticut. I had told my wife for many times, you could almost set your calendar as to when you need to break out the sweatshirts. And those sweatshirts would come out right about Labor Day. A little bit after Labor Day, you'd have once in a while you'd have a really warm day, but for the most part, you could start getting the hoodies and stuff ready right after Labor Day. Does a biological gal really want to go in a? No, it's. I can't even answer that. You understand where we are in this day and age, where we can take shots at people. We can have Venezuelan gangs take over apartments, but we can't talk openly about the idiocy of what you just said. Not that you're an idiot. I'm saying it's absolutely nuts. Somebody might get offended. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't mean to dead name you or all the other stuff. It's crazy. California, 109. Wisconsin's going for Trump if they don't steal it again. 60s weather today and nice in Illinois. I love that kind of weather. Love it. Let's see. I am one of 10 children and the only Republican. I love my siblings, of course. My parents were Republicans. Don't know what happened to my other siblings. Perhaps it was college. Depending upon where they went to school, that's usually where the indoctrination takes place. Right about there. What do I think of Alan Lichtman's prediction? Well, last night I went into my polling show and I spent a good portion of time talking about Alan Lichtman. What I might do is cut that and put it out as its own video so you don't have to sit through the 2 hours. But to answer your question, he's a flipping nut job. Almost everything he said in his video about his predictions is complete hogwash. And I went through it yesterday after I went through all the reasons why his stuff is hogwash, is that here's one thing. He said the Biden administration has had no scandals. None. He actually said that. As soon as I heard that, I was like, let me just see what else he has to say. Then he completely blew it when he said the short-term and long-term economy were looking great. And I'm like, well, this guy has been promoted as being the Nostradamus of polling, and he can't even foretell what having the inversion curve looks like, and he can't foretell what America's not getting any jobs looks like in the future. That tells me you're not someone I need to put any credence in whatsoever. Yeah. Where was that one? Fast and Furious guy. Alan Lichtman is a moron. I can't believe anybody put any credence into that at all. Let's see what else we got here. Feel bad for school custodians in Tim State. Many floods and worse to deal with. I know what kind of guy I was in high school. And I was a big hulking kid. And as they're departing the plane, you'll see the big guy get off in a second. I would have ripped the thing off the wall. If I didn't, one of my other buddies would have ripped it off the wall, kicked it down the hall, and get this thing out of here. It wouldn't have lasted. I don't know in today's day and age how other kids, athletes, strong guys in school wouldn't look at this thing and go, what in the hell is this? Unless they got a camera, because they know it's going to happen, a camera facing down on the tampon dispenser. That's probably the only way that it doesn't get destroyed. But then again, you come in and spray the camera in and rip that thing off the wall. CNN is what happened to my sister. I stopped speaking to her when she said she wished the... Ooh, wow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These people, there are a certain amount of people in our society right now who are never coming back to normalcy. They're done. They've been gaslit. They've been brainwashed. They've been MK Ultra. They're done. When you would think, forget the name Trump. To wish that anybody would have their head exploded on television. If you actually said that to somebody, the psychiatrist would want to talk to you. Doesn't even have to be Trump. The fact of the matter that some of these people who have openly posted, that they're pissed off that the guy missed. So you want to see a father, a grandfather, a husband. You wanted to see this guy's head split open because you don't like his politics. Seriously? Seriously. How shallow of a person are you to feel that you need to have somebody murdered on live TV because you don't like their political policy? Back in the day, that would get a visit by the Secret Service. Just saying something so egregious, so stupid. And now people feel comfortable. They've gotten comfortable saying stuff like this, yet they want to put Elon Musk in jail. They want to basically destroy the lives of conservative people who put up videos. Benny Johnson, Dave Rubin, Tim Pool. We don't like what you say, so we're going to take it down and basically ruin your life, even though you were the one supposedly deceived. I don't know the in and outs of that entire relationship they had with that company, but what I do know for a fact, without any doubt, that every single one of you watching, you know this for 100% fact, is that not a single thing has been proven as of yet. They went through a complete character assassination of both those guys and Lauren Chen. Destroyed them. And nothing's been proven. Right now, I hope most of you know, it's merely an allegation. We've gotten to a point in our society where you're convicted based upon the DOJ saying we think this happened. No evidence. Nothing. Nothing has been presented in court. It hasn't even gotten to court yet. And you're looking at people like, oh, they're Russian, puppets. We no longer have our constitutional right of deference. Deference meaning you're innocent until proven guilty. Now the left has changed that. You're guilty. Now you got to go to court and prove that you're innocent. That's not how it works. Or at least that's not how it was designed. It's the other way around. You are still innocent until proven guilty. And all these people, now their lives are destroyed. I hope they all pull out of it, but they are destroyed, and the left is happy. Because, Russia. Oh my God, I am so sick of every time something happening, screaming Russia. My friends and that's just my husband and friends would have been wearing as earrings are stuck out there. Oh, whatever happened to sweet feminine women? Oh, you're looking at a bunch of them. They're called Republican or conservative women at this point. Everything else, it seems that I don't know how you can be a leftist woman who cares about life. We all grew up, myself, most men, knowing that women were the nurturers. Women were, the men were the hunter-gatherers, and the woman was a nurturer. How did that just go away on the left? They feel like they have nothing to nurture. They don't care about men. They obviously don't care about families and kids. What do they care about? What exactly has been indoctrinated into these people's minds where their essence has been taken away from them, and they've been told you don't need to be this way, and you don't need to aspire to anything. The rich people are bad. Meanwhile, all the people saying this shit are rich. Look in and figure out what Kamala's net worth is, or Bernie Sanders, or AOC. The people telling you to basically be angry at the rich people are rich. It doesn't make any sense. None of it. Oh, I found that. I found a list of the CEOs endorsing Harris. You want me to pull that back up? Because I had it up, and as I looked at it, I was like, these people they're lying. They are absolutely lying. Let me see if I can find that really quick. And it's funny when you look at it, this list. I'm trying to find it here. It was a list, and one of them, believe it or not, okay, here it is. This is just a partial list of the people who endorsed Kamala Harris. You're going to love this. Okay, let me move that to there. Mark Cuban from Shark Tank is on this list. Barry Diller used to be with Comcast. I don't know where he is now. Ken Frazier of Merck. Reid Hoffman from LinkedIn. We all know why Reid Hoffman's that way. He doesn't want a certain list to be exposed. Remember that. Blake Irving from GoDaddy. Chris Larson from Ripple. Jeff Lawson from Twilio. Ted Leonassis, the owner of the Washington Wizards. Aaron Levie from Box. Michael Linton from Snap. Alan Mulcahy from Ford. James Murdoch from Fox News. Laxman Narasimhan from Starbucks. Indra Nossi from Pepsi. Dan Shulman from PayPal. And Jeremy Stoppelman from Yelp are just a few of those who are on that list.
We will never stop
Did
fighting
you know
for our country,
that
our
Fox
flag,
News is
and our freedom.
opposing Donald Trump?
strong enough to remove the legacy that he has built.
I found that to be shocking. He made that network. They have made so much money off of Donald Trump, but Paul Ryan and the boys, they don't want to have anything to do with him.
The next president of the
A lot
United
of companies
States,
for the right
President
to boycott.
Donald
Yeah, just go ahead and
J.
use your
Trump.
bucks to talk. Ah, shoot. I can't believe that music was playing. Yeah, I know. The music was on. I did have my headphone in, and it started playing. So, There's going to be in the after of this thing being posted, there's going to be about a minute worth of video that I'm going to have to cut because they're going to say, oh, you weren't supposed to play that music. So the music is off. He's walking. Wow, the security is really tight. They're making sure that those trucks are back there. Yeah, you guys know the deal. I had to go ahead and cut it. Good question, Mike Take TV. Where is the bulletproof glass? Interesting. Maybe it's up on the stage. We'll see that in a second. Maybe it's up there. They're being very careful to make sure he's okay. Goodness and God bless Trump. I think there is. Yeah, there's the bulletproof glass. It's there. So he's gonna take the stage in a second once the music is done, and he'll be up on the platform. I hate that he has to use. Did you see that Kamala was someplace and she was using it as well because she was worried about somebody taking a pot shot at her? No, she wanted to look like Trump. We know exactly what your deal is. Okay, he's talking.
Crowd, look what that crowd.
Let me know how the volume is.
This is a big crowd. A very special hello to Wisconsin. We really appreciate it. We've had great success here. We've had tremendous success, and I'm thrilled to be back in this incredible state with the thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. And if you can believe it, 59 days from now, we are going to win Wisconsin. We're going to defeat Comrade Kamala Harris.
How's the volume? Let me know about the volume.
We're going to win the White House, that gorgeous, beautiful White House. We're going to win it. And we're going to turn this country around because this country is a failing nation right now. It's a laughingstock all over the world. Over the past 4 years, our country has seen the sickness and corruption of the Washington swamp exposed like never before. You've seen it. You've been watching it. You watch those millions and millions of people pour into our country. We have no idea from where, who they are. We know nothing about them, and I'll tell you, many of them are bad. Many of them are among the worst in the world. Under the Harris-Biden regime, your government imported murderers, child predators, and serial rapists from all over the planet while weaponizing law enforcement to jail political opponents here at home. They do that, and they think it's wonderful. It's like third world country only. They loot the economy. They give trillions and trillions of dollars to their left-wing cronies while you pay the cost of rampant inflation, which is what's happened. Rampant inflation, bad energy policy, and just pouring out money like it was water. They run your country for their own power and profit while erasing your borders, assaulting your freedom, indoctrinating your children, and selling your jobs to China, Mexico, and all of these other foreign lands. But with your vote this election, their lying, cheating, thieving, hoaxing, and plotting will come to an end. It's going to come to an end. We're going to cast out the corrupt political class. We're going to restore our republic. And we are going to drain the swamp. And we're going to do it once and for all. We're going to get it done. Thank you very much. Here are 9 steps I'll take very quickly to break the grip of this rogue regime. This is the worst president and vice president in the history of our country. There's never been anybody that's done the damage of these people. You know, I used to say, and I haven't said it in a while, if you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of the country, and let's include vice president because she's worse than he is, because she's actually a believer. He wasn't. But if you took the 10 worst, they haven't done the damage that this one administration has done to our country. First, I will end forever the weaponization of government and the abuse of law enforcement against political opponents. Under Comrade Kamala, Christians and pro-life activists are rotting in prison for the crime of praying in public. How about the people they're arresting because they were praying in public? These people are sick. People like Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro, good people, were locked up for following the advice of their lawyers. And as everyone knows, the Harris-Biden DOJ is trying to throw me in jail. They want me in jail for the crime of exposing their corruption. We expose their corruption. They go after the people that expose, not the people that do the corruption. The big news this week was that the Manhattan DA witch hunt against me has been postponed because everyone realizes that there's no case because I did nothing wrong. Political witch hunt. It's a political attack against me by Comrade Kamala Harris and Sleepy Joe and other radical left opponents for the purpose of election interference. This is all it is. My whole life I never had anything. Now all of a sudden I got so many cases. Who's indicting me today? Does anybody have any? Well, sir, you challenged the election. We think you should be under indictment. We challenged the corrupt election. We were right about that. And it's a case that should never have been brought, and they postponed it. And nothing like this has ever happened in the United States before. It's strictly third world banana republic stuff. That's what it is. But importantly, the public understands this. That's why we have such a crowd today. This is a big crowd, you know. You know, they were trying to say that she gets big crowds. Number one, she doesn't. Number two, she buses the people in. You see the buses. There's nobody busting. I'm sorry to tell you. We bust in nobody. We have some people from North Carolina. I think it's what is it? Those beautiful ladies from North Carolina are here again. Without their husbands, never have their husbands, those poor husbands. This is, what is this, 249 or something, 249. And we love them, and we're doing well in North Carolina. We left yesterday. We just got the endorsement of the biggest police group in the country, and 380,000 police. I said, how many police does our country have? But it's 380,000 endorsed me yesterday in North Carolina, your home state. And I just want to thank them. This is like number 250. And I never see their husbands. They're all happily married, but I never see their husbands. So I don't know what the hell is going on. They're beautiful. And they're always perfectly coiffed. That means they have money. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. It's great. And we always have front row Joes over here. Look at these people. Whoa. It's a lot of front row Joes. They've been here for 4 days. Thank you very much. Thank you. The spirit we have is greater than ever before. You know, we did great in 2016. We did better in 2020, but you're not allowed to say that, because if you say that, they go after you. We did better by millions and millions of votes, but neither one of them compared to what's happening now. We've never seen the enthusiasm and the love that we have now. This has really been incredible. And if I didn't think we did well last time, I wouldn't have done this, because, you know, it's a little tough life. It's not the easiest. You get shot at, other things happen. Other routine events happen, but we're going to do it for one reason. I wouldn't have changed. They asked me just a little while ago, a reporter said, sir, if you had to do it again, would you do it again? I said, absolutely, because we're going to make America great again, and that's better than my life. Right? These guys know. He knows. They know. Thank you. Thank you very much. What an incredible crowd. What an incredible... Nobody's ever had crowds like this. Nobody, ever. And the fake news knows it. That's a lot of fake news back there. That's a lot of fake news. The public understands this, and so does every legal scholar, expert, luminary, including people like Andy McCarthy, Jonathan Turley, Alan Dershowitz, Mark Levin, Stephen Calabrese, David Rifkin, Greg Jarrett, Katie and Andrew Cherkowski, Eli Honig of CNN even knows it. They really, they've said very powerfully that this is a case that should have never been brought. It's an embarrassment. Every legal scholar of note has said This stuff shouldn't be happening. It's a weaponization of government. I greatly appreciate the words, if necessary. They also said the decision will be postponed if necessary. First of all, there is no if necessary. We did nothing wrong. We're never going to let them do this. Somebody else wouldn't have taken it. I was thinking, how many people, I was with some people on the plane, and I said, how many people would have taken this? Most of them would have left. They would have said, I'm getting out of this business. But not me. I don't know. Not me. We're up against very bad, evil people. It's an evil force. You know, we have people on the outside and we have people on the inside. You have people, you know, countries, China, Russia, Kim Jong-un. We have lots of people. They're tough and they're smart. And by the way, a lot smarter than what we have now. We have a bunch of dumb people. We have the dumbest leaders in the history of our country and the history of the world. But you know what? They look at us and they say, what the hell is going on? Did you see? 3 days ago, it started again. The Justice Department said, Russia may be involved in our elections again. You see that, Mr. Congressman? Great congressman from Texas. You see that? Russia. It's Russia. And you know, the whole world laughed at him this time. 2.5 years. Not a phone call made to Russia, not anything to do with Russia, except stopping their pipeline and lots of other things that these people approved. And they said just the other day, the Attorney General, we are looking at Russia. And I said, oh, no, it's Russia, Russia, Russia all over again. But they don't look at China and they don't look at Iran. They look at Russia. I don't know what it is with poor Russia. This but you know what? Russia would have never happened if I were president. Attacking Ukraine would have never happened. I knew Putin. I knew him well. And, you know, he endorsed, I don't know if you saw the other day, he endorsed Kamala. He endorsed Kamala. I was very offended by that. I wonder why he endorsed Kamala. No, he's a chess player. He endorsed Kamala. Should I be, Congressman, should I be upset about that? No? Huh? Was it done with a smile, Ron? Was it done with a smile? I think it was done maybe with a smile. I don't know. Who the hell knows? Nobody's going to figure it out. They're about 19 steps ahead of us. But this whole Russia thing, nobody was tougher on Russia in history than Trump. And the person that knows that better than anyone is President Vladimir Putin. He knows it better than anyone. And I'll tell you what, I will have that war finished and done and settled before I get to the White House. As president-elect, I will get that done. We'll get it done. It's a horrible, horrible war. And the deaths are far greater than you hear. You don't hear what's happening over there. They're being decimated. You don't hear what's really happening over there. We're going to get it done very quickly. I know both of them. I know Zelensky and I know Putin. I'm going to get it done very quickly. Do you ever notice? I don't even think we try. We just give billions and billions of dollars. Does anyone ever, talk to Russia about, get this thing finished? Nobody talks. We don't have any communication, nothing. We're run by stupid people. Stupid, stupid people. And we found that out at the debate with Joe. How did that work out? And we're going to find it out again on Tuesday night. Is anybody going to be watching? You know, she's a threat to democracy. They always say, Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. I'm not a threat. I'm the opposite. I'm keeping democracy. What they are, she's a defunder of police. You know, when somebody on the far left is in charge of defund the police for 12 years, and then they switched, 3 weeks ago or something, oh, we love our police. They don't love the police. They're radical left Marxists, and that's what she is. And she's got to be, it's not even believable. The whole thing it's not believable. Defund the police, no fracking, no, we're not going to frack. You go back a couple of years, we will never frack. There will be no fracking in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania will never frack. And now you say, oh, yes, we will frack. The whole thing is a con job. She got in, she was last. They had 22 people or something running. How Biden won, I will never know. To me, it's one of the greatest miracles. To me, it's a great miracle. But how the hell that guy won? But he won, and he got, in this one, he got 14 million votes. She got no votes. And then they put her in anyway. The bosses put her in because she's controlled by them. But she will be the worst president. He is the worst president in history. She will be worse than him. She will be worse than him. And Trump is never wrong. I am never, ever wrong. But just to finish off on the weaponization, you know, probably most of the people have heard. Just yesterday, the top spokesman, one of the top people in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan, that's a very respected Southern District, very, very highly respected, was heard saying, and was quoted exactly, quote, honestly, I think this case is nonsense. Now, this is the boss of the whole thing. Every real estate person in New York does what Trump did. Nobody's ever been charged with this before. It's a perversion of justice. He said that the DA's office was, quote, stacking charges against Trump and rearranging things just to make them fit the case. I think it is. This is the boss. I don't know why they don't do something. They ought to drop it. They shouldn't delay it. They should drop it. Drop all of it. Drop all of it. I've been indicted more than Alphonse Capone. I say it all the time. He's sort of the ultimate, you know, he's the ultimate criminal. I got indicted more than him. My parents are up there. They're great people. They're looking down on me right now. I can't believe this has happened to my son. He's been indicted more than Al Capone. He would take that tough man sitting right in the front row, stand up. Look at him. He's tough as hell. He would take him out to dinner. If he didn't like him, you were gone. You would never be found again. You'd be in the foundation of a building. You would form the foundation of a building someplace in Wisconsin. Now, Alphonse Capone led a very vicious, violent life, but according to the statistics, I am a much worse person than Alphonse Capone. I don't think so. But he also said, this gentleman said, in New York justice system is, quote, like the Wild West. They're like idiots. They don't care. They're all political. And he said that the persecution in Georgia by Fani Willis. You know about Fani Willis, right? Has anybody? Fani. It's pronounced Fani, F-A-N-I. That's Fanny. But she likes it Fani. When she became whatever she became, DA, she became the DA. She said, my name is Fani. Fani Willis and her boyfriend, right? Wade, Loverboy Wade. Remember? Remember Loverboy? We hired him. We gave him almost $1 million. Because of his tremendous talent at this particular section of the law. He never even heard of it. He was never involved in it. She gave him $1 million, and she's got no problem. I don't know, maybe she does have problems, but it's a persecution of very good people. Forget me, I don't care about me. I care about like 20-something people. And she wanted to take down senators because a couple of senators called and said, what the hell is going on over there? What's happening in Georgia? What's going on? They wanted to indict senators to find out what the hell is going on. Great innocent people, great patriots have been indicted by Fani and her boyfriend, and it's a disgrace. You had people that are in their 80s. Would you sign here? You know, Thomas Jefferson did the same kind of things. Alexander Hamilton, lots of people all throughout the ages. Hillary Clinton wouldn't acknowledge the election. All of these senators like Shifty Schiff, can you imagine? Shifty Adam Schiff, all of them, they disputed the 2016 election. It's okay for them to do it, but if we do it, it's a serious, serious crime. These people are sick. We got to get them the hell out of there. We have to win this election. Have to win this election, right? He knows. That guy knows. That guy knows. And he said, just in ending this, that the person, it's just so good I have to say the whole thing because it's so good. I mean, this is one of the top people in justice in the country and the boss. And he said the persecution in Georgia by Fani Willis is a mockery of justice. It's a joke. The whole thing is disgusting. They're just out to get him, meaning Trump. They're just out to get me. I think that's true. I don't think that's true. I know that's true. But they couldn't have picked a worse target because it's made me more popular. Can you believe me? I think I'm the only person in the history of government that got indicted and my poll numbers went up. You know why? Because you know that it's fake, it's corrupt, just like Russia was corrupt, just like their job numbers last week were corrupt. Did you see? They added 818,000 fake jobs on to try and make their numbers look better, and they got caught by a whistleblower. Thank you, whistleblower. Thank you very much. That's incredible, right? That's incredible. 818 jobs, and they were going to announce it because, you know, usually you cheat for 5,000, 6,000. They cheat for 5,000, 6,000, I've heard. Never has anybody seen 818,000, and they were going to announce a correction right after the election. But fortunately, a whistleblower came in and leaked it out, and that was a great thing and should be. If that were a Republican instead of a Democrat, they'd be out of office now for what they did. That was a fraud. 818,000 jobs, that's a fraud. If Comrade Kamala Harris gets 4 more years, you will be living a full-blown banana republic ruled by an anarchy and a tyranny. You're going to have something, and it's not her. It's the people that surround her. They're scum. They're scum, and they want to take down our country. They are absolute garbage. They want to take, hey, how about the J6 committee? So the J6 committee of political thugs and losers gets together, and they investigate J6 for years, destroyed the lives of many people, and now it was revealed fairly recently that they destroyed and deleted all documents, all evidence, all proof. They don't have anything. You know why? Because a lot of it pointed to Nancy Pelosi. It was her fault because she's supposed to be in charge of security, and she turned down thousands of soldiers or National Guard. She turned them down, and it was so obvious. And all of the stories, many of those stories were fake stories. They were all made up, and we caught them because the Secret Service, frankly, said that stuff wasn't true. They deleted and destroyed documents. Now, I think that's a criminal act. Isn't it a criminal act? What the hell happened? When is something going to happen? How come it always happens to a Republican but doesn't happen to them? They deleted and destroyed every ounce of documents and evidence that they did over a year and a half because it came out badly for them, and they should pay a big price for that. They should pay a big price. The moment we win, we will rapidly review the cases of every political prisoner unjustly victimized by the Harris regime, and I will sign their pardons on day one. I will sign it on day one. Right? Day one. We will completely overhaul Kamala's corrupt Department of Injustice and turn the Injustice Department back into the best law enforcement agency on the planet. Instead of persecuting Republicans, they will focus on taking down bloodthirsty cartels, transnational gangs, and radical Islamic terrorists, which words they won't even say. They won't even say any of those words. Second, I will bring back free speech in America because it's been taken away. They've taken away your free speech, and the fake news is a threat to this country. They are just horrible. These are horrible people. Not everyone. I mean, I know most of them up there. Some are good. Hello, Brian. No, some are good, and most of them are just absolutely terrible human beings. They know what's going on. You know what they'll write today? But look at this crowd. It goes from corner to corner. It's a mess. I flew over it. I said, that's a lot of people down there. And you know what they'll say today or tomorrow when they write? Donald Trump spoke today in Wisconsin before a small crowd of people, a small gathering of people. They are just so bad. I don't know. It's it's really hard to turn it back around unless they used to be like the police force. They'd write the truth, but they're no longer the police force. They're the police force for opposite. They're a police force for bad. They're bad. They're bad people, and they're very dishonest. And a lot of people don't understand. When you're a politician like these people, like me, like others, and you happen to be a Republican or somewhat conservative, they write just the opposite of what the facts are. And if you're driving a cab, if you're an accountant, if you're a lawyer, if you're something, other than that, you don't know the details. When we know the facts and then the story gets written the exact opposite of what it is, you start to lose faith in the press, I will tell you. But I will sign an executive order banning any federal employee from colluding to limit speech, and we will fire every federal bureaucrat who is engaged in domestic censorship under the Harris regime. We will do that. And third is I will expel warmongers. We have these people, they want to go to war all the time. You know why? Missiles are $2 million apiece, that's why. They love to drop missiles all over the place. You know, I had no wars. Remember Crooked Hillary used to say, look at him, he's going to cause wars. No. My personality stopped wars. She said, look at his personality, he's going to cause wars. My personality stopped wars. We had no wars. Other than I finished wars that they couldn't finish. I defeated 100% of the ISIS caliphate, etc. And did it quickly. We did it in 4 weeks. It took them, they said it was going to take 5 years. We did it in 4 weeks. We have the greatest military. I got to tell you, they're not woke. Don't worry about when you hear they're woke. Guys like Milley and some of these guys that were on the top, he's gone now, which is a great thing. He's the one that said, leave all the equipment in Afghanistan, it's cheaper. He told me that too. That's when I didn't listen to him anymore. He said, it's cheaper to leave an airplane that costs $150 million brand new than it is to fly it out with a tank of fuel, jet fuel. It's cheaper to leave it behind. I said, this guy is really bad. He's really bad. You know, it's amazing, though. Not one person from that horrible tragedy of Afghanistan, not one general, not one leader in any way got fired, not one person. Biden never fired anybody because they have the goods on him. So I fired people like crazy. I love to fire people. I love to fire people that didn't do their job. I fired a lot of people that didn't do their I fire them. You didn't do your job. I'm sorry. Say hello to your family. You're fired. Get out. We got to get some. I will expel the warmongers from our national security state and carry out a much-needed cleanup of the military-industrial complex to stop the war profiteering and to put always America first. We put America first. And we're going to end these endless wars. They never stop. You ever see these wars? They go on for 14 years, 20 years. They're fighting ISIS for 21 years. These people are something. We knocked them out in 2 months, 1 month, actually. We had a good general there, General Raisin Cane. We have great generals. We have great leaders. We have great military, and they're not going woke. You could put them in a room for 2 years and scream woke crap to them, and they'd walk out, and they wouldn't be changed. They're not going woke. Don't worry about our military. Fourth, to curtail the power of federal bureaucrats and save your thousands of dollars, we will cut 10 old regulations for every 1 new regulation. And at the suggestion of a great guy, Elon Musk. Has anyone ever heard of him? Huh? No? Elon. Oh, there's a rocket. Look, a rocket's flying. It's Elon. Now, he's very good at what he does. He's going to have to save them. They have 2 people up there. Boeing had a little, I shouldn't say there's a beautiful Boeing plane there, but Boeing had a little hard time, as you heard. So they're going to save, Leon's going to send up a rocket. He looks forward to it. That's all he thinks about is things like that. I said, Elon, what's taking so long? Let's get going. But you watch, he'll get that problem solved. What a terrible problem. It's embarrassing. That's what's happening with our country. Everything's embarrassing. You know, we don't win anymore. We used to win all the time. We won with me. We won everything with me. We won everything. Remember, I came to office and they greeted me with the following statement, sir, we have no ammunition. I said, wait a minute. We have no ammunition? No, sir. We've given it all away to our allies. Allies, by the way, they're allies, but not when we need them. They're only allies when they need something. If we were ever attacked, none of these countries, or very few of them, that we talk about all the time, none of them would come. We were just attacked by such and such a country. Listen, we need your help. They wouldn't take your phone call. But we give away billions and billions of dollars. No, I was greeted with a statement that, sir, we have no ammunition. And I built and rebuilt the greatest military in the world. And the first thing I did was ammunition. I got ammunition from everywhere as fast as you could. And I said to him, Mr. Congressman, what the hell are you saying we have no ammunition, even if it's true? You don't talk about it. Can you imagine President Xi, thank goodness he was in a good mood. He's listening that we have no ammunition. Do you think he likes that sound? That's a beautiful sound to him. I said, why would you say it? Okay, medic, please. Doctor, thank you. Thank you very much. Take your time. Thank you, doctor. We get the greatest service here. It's amazing the way they just are right on it. Amazing. And some people are out here for 3 days. 3 days. So it's really incredible that things like this don't happen more often, actually. But they always turn out to be good. They're excited. They're excited by what we're doing because we're taking our country back from these lunatics. Take your time, doctor. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
I love how he takes the time when people get sick or fall out from being in the sun. It's amazing that he's got that kind of empathy that he'll just sit there.
I don't want to say too many thank yous because you saw Kamala at the convention when she got up. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I said, what's wrong with her? What the? So I don't want to say too much. Is that right, fellas? I got just every once in a while I'll say thank you, and I mean it, thank you. But my thank you is meaningful, I will tell you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Everything good? Everything good? Everybody happy? We have a good, strong person back there is getting up, yes? Okay, you tell me when. You tell me when you in the red shirt with those big muscles in your arms, those big, beautiful, beautiful person. Let me go. Should we go? You tell me when. Gets far back. These are the greatest people that will do this because they love the country. Is that okay? Is that what the okay sign is? She's okay? Say a prayer. Yeah, say a prayer. We need more prayers in this nation, I can tell you right now. That's the other thing. They want to shut down your religion. And they've done a pretty good job of it, to be honest with you. Thank you, doctor. Good doctors in these crowds. We have a lot of doctors in these crowds. There's always plenty of doctors. They're good ones, too. You know, in Butler, two of the doctors, they saved two people's lives that they thought were gone. We had Corey, the great firefighter, Corey, and he was gone, but the doctors saved the other two, and they thought they were gone. They were amazing, amazing doctors.
You know, you watch these kind of things, you have to wonder, the trolls that come in here, I don't like to pay them any
Take your
attention.
time, doctor. We have
But
time,
this
right?
guy is showing compassion for
We
these
have
people.
time.
These people have been out in the sun, sitting there, waiting for him to show up. He definitely cares about the American people. Last rally, he actually went into the audience where the woman basically
That's
passed
right.
out. And yet they want to see this guy harmed physically.
We're getting a good sign, I think. Is that a good sign?
Unbelievable.
We're getting a lot of good signs. That's great. Good. Got some good news back there, Ron, huh? Good job. I watched your speech today. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes? Good. Thank you very much. Thank you. And just make some room for them so they can get out and hopefully come back before we're finished, because we can stay here all day as far as I'm concerned. We'll stay here all day. Thank you very much. Doctors, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Anything happens, let us know. But at the suggestion of Elon Musk, I will create a government efficiency commission to conduct a complete financial and performance audit for the entire federal government. And we will cut the fat out of our government for the first time meaningfully in 60 years. We're going to cut the fat. There is so much fat, you won't even know it's gone. Fifth, we will drain the government education swamp and stop the abuse of your taxpayer dollars to indoctrinate America's youth with all sorts of things that you don't want to have our youth hearing. Ultimately, we'll limit, and you know what we're doing here. I say it all the time. I'm dying to get back to do this. We will ultimately eliminate the Federal Department of Education and send education back to Wisconsin and back to the states. We'll send it back to the states so that Ron Johnson can run it, okay? We'll send it back here. Mr. Tiffany, we'll get our Congressman Tiffany involved. He made a good speech, too. We're at the bottom of every single list in education. You know that. We're at the bottom of every single list, and yet we're number one in terms of cost per pupil. So, you know the expression I used once, twice, three times before, and it was very effective, actually. What the hell do we have to lose, right? We'll send our education back to the states. And, you know, some states will do a fantastic job. Some won't. And it's the same ones that are laggards right now. I don't want to name them because why would we want to embarrass Gavin Newsom and some of these people? Gavin Newsom. Why would we want to embarrass him? But that's, by the way, speaking of California, she destroyed, as you know, Kamala, destroyed the greatest city in America, San Francisco. She destroyed it, totally destroyed it. Then she became Attorney General of the state. She destroyed the state of California. Now she's running for president. We're not going to let that happen. Sixth, we will not tolerate so-called equity policies that punish Americans based on race or gender. America will return to the merit principle, which has just been approved by the Supreme Court of the United States. You work hard and you will be very successful. We're back to the merit system. Nobody thought that was ever even possible. We need merit. There's so many people that are left out in the cold, and that's not going to happen anymore. You work hard, you work diligently, you go to school, you do what you have to do, but it's based on merit. Again, you haven't heard that in many, many years. And seventh, working with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., you know Bobby, RFK Jr., that was a meaningful endorsement. That was a great endorsement. We'll take on the corruption at the FDA, the CDC, World Health Organization, and other institutions of public health that have dominated and really are dominated by corporate power and dominated really by China. You know, the World Health Organization, they called COVID totally wrong. And I looked into it. We were paying them $500 million a year. China was paying them For 1.4 billion, we don't really know what we have because so many people have come into our country. We have no idea what we have. But let's assume we have 350 million, including 20 or 25 million criminal migrants, in many cases criminals. We have some of the worst people in the world coming into our country. Some of the worst criminals in the world are coming into our country. But we have 350 million people, let's say. They have 1.4 billion. They pay 39 million. We pay 500 million. Do you think that's a good deal? So I pulled out of it, and they came to me, and they wanted me to go back in. They wanted us to go back in, and I kept saying, no, I don't want to do it. And it became actually a very popular thing. I hate to say this, but politically, like people really liked it because they knew how we were abused by them. It's run by China. It's not run by us. We pay 500, and it's run by China, who pays 39 million. So they wanted to come back, and I said, well, how come China's paying 39 million? They have 1.4 billion people, and we're paying for a much smaller number of people. We're paying 500. We will make the same deal as we made with China. Well, I said, that would mean we'd be paying about 8 million, right? They said, no, we will make the same. We'll let you come in for 39 million. And you know what? I turned them down. Not for that. I turned them down for other reasons, and because they weren't good. And they were dominated by China. But Biden came in, this stupid person came. $590 million. Now, he knew what was going on. He knew that, well, he probably didn't. He's really, do you think he knew? I don't think he knew. Do you think somebody said, sir, we can do it for 39? You know, it's not the biggest number when you're talking trillions all the time. But it's indicative of stupidity. And she's worse than him. He is a smarter person than she is. Oh, they're waiting for the debate. You know, if I destroy her in the debate, they'll say, Trump suffered a humiliating defeat tonight. No matter what. Although they did, you know, with Biden, one of the CNN people said that about they said, the Donald Trump performance tonight was the single greatest debate performance I've ever seen. 2 days later, all they did is talk about how bad he was. They didn't talk about me. They didn't talk about me anymore. But no, it's a crooked system, but we're going to make it a very legitimate system again. We can do that, and I think we can do it pretty easily with people like you have over here. I think we can actually do it pretty easily. We will establish a panel of top experts to investigate what is causing the decades-long increase in chronic health problems and childhood diseases, including the autoimmune disorders, autism, obesity, infertility, and much more. And Bobby's going to be very much involved in that. We're going to get him involved because that's what he likes. That's what he's great at. Isn't it great to have a Kennedy with us? Isn't that nice? And this is really, I mean, I don't want to disrespect the rest of the family, but this has been the dominant Kennedy for the last 25 years. You know, he's a great guy. I've known him a long time. He's a great guy, and he really wants what's good for the country, and to have his endorsement is a very important thing. And Tulsi endorsed us, too, almost simultaneously. And we love Tulsi. She's been fantastic. She's a woman of great common sense, actually. I've watched her for a long time. She has great common sense. I will ask Congress to pass sweeping reforms to prevent foreign influence peddling, bribery, and corruption like we have seen with a certain family in the United States. The Biden crime family, that's the family. What the hell is happening with that family, Rod? What's going on with that family? You know, the night he spoke at the convention, Congress found out that he stole $27 million. Nothing happened. Nothing happens with these people. He stole $27 million, and he was speaking at the convention. They were saying what a wonderful president he was. The worst ever in history. You know, he made a State of the Union speech, the last one. It was so bad. And I turned to CNN and MSDNC. I wanted to see how bad they'd report on it because, you know, it had to be bad. And I turned, and one of them said, not since Franklin Delano Roosevelt has a speech been made so brilliantly or delivered so well. He was coughing in his hand all the time. He's coughing. Then he walks out and shakes everybody's hand. Some people actually didn't want, they went, hello, sir. Hello, sir. It's wonderful to have you up there, sir. So can you imagine, you know, Franklin Roosevelt was a great speaker in a certain way. very elegant person, came from a very elegant neighborhood, so to speak, very, very rich and entitled, but different from these people you have today, but very beautiful speaker. And they compared him to Franklin. Not since Franklin Delano Roosevelt, has anybody made a State of the Union like that. And I said, this is really terrible. This is really terrible. And finally, I will support modifying the 25th Amendment to make clear that if a vice president lies or engages in a conspiracy to cover up the incapacity of the President of the United States, if you do that with a cover-up of the President of the United States, it's grounds for impeachment immediately and removal from office, because that's what they did. That's what they did. You know, think of it. If he didn't go to that debate, he'd still be running. He'd still be running. To every citizen who's sick and tired of the parasitic political class in Washington that sucks our country of its blood and treasure, November 5th will be your Liberation Day. November 5th this year will be the most important day in the history of our country, because we're not going to have a country anymore if we don't win. It will be the most important day in the history of our country. You know, I used to say that about 2016 because the border was bad, but the border was bad. It was like 5% of what's going on now. It was fine. And I fixed it very quickly and beautifully. And then I couldn't talk about it. I kept saying, I want to talk for the next election. Well, we got millions more votes. I couldn't talk about it. They said, sir, people don't want to hear about the border. It's in great shape. You fixed it. I said, I want to talk about the border. They said, sir, I'm telling you, nobody cares. And it's true. I used to talk about the border. They didn't care because I fixed it. But this border is so much worse. This border is at a level that there's never been a border in the history of the world that's been where 20 or 25 million people have poured in and nobody has any idea where they're coming from. Here in Wisconsin, you also need to defeat a radical left senator named Tammy Baldwin, who's bad news. Baldwin voted with Biden almost 100% of the time, giving you open borders, horrific inflation, the Afghanistan disaster. That's the most embarrassing day, I think, in the history of our country, right? He's nodding. I agree. And everything else, all of these problems that we have, all of the open borders and the people pouring in, you know, all of it, like the energy we can solve quickly, everything we can solve. But we have to do something. We have millions of people coming. I mean, they've poured in. They're here. They're here. You know, the border's been a little bit tougher lately because there's an election. That's the only reason. So the numbers are a little bit better than they were 3 months ago. But that's only for purposes of... The fact is, these people, these 20, 25 million people are already in our country. What they've done to us, it's suicidal. It is suicidal. What they've done to this country, nothing like that has ever... It's an invasion of our country. But running against Tammy Baldwin is a true American patriot. He really is. He's an incredible guy. I don't know. Nothing is easy. You know, you beat these people that are in Washington for so long, and many of them are no good, but they are hard to beat. They're hard to beat. She's no good. I mean, I was president for 4 years. I don't know. I'm not even sure if I ever met her. She doesn't do anything. She just votes the party line, and then she gets the party support. She doesn't do anything for Wisconsin. When I gave you the big boat contract, I gave you the biggest boat contract in years, and a lot of people didn't want it to go here. Everybody wanted it. I gave it. She never called me. She was the one person that should have been calling me. She never called me. I gave it to you for other reasons. But we have somebody that's running. Number one, he's central casting, you have to say. This guy is central casting, and he's smart, and he's tough, and he's a hero, and he's a success, and he'll make an incredible senator for you and your wonderful people who I know so well in Wisconsin. Eric Hovde is great. Come on up, Eric. Come on up.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let's give President Trump a big Wisconsin hello! You know, All of us are here for one reason, and it's the reason why this man is going through all that he's gone through. He's been put through hell, attack after attack. Why I'm going through this, why you're showing up here. We love our country. We love America. And what the Democratic Party has become today are a bunch of progressive socialists that are destroying our wonderful country. They have turned our country upside down. What was right has become wrong, and what was wrong has become right. They're damaging our country economically. Under President Trump, your wages increased 7.7%, one of the highest growth rates ever. Under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they've declined by 2.2% because of all their inflation and reckless spending. Under President Trump, the border was almost closed, and he would have gotten the job done. Under them, who knows how many people flooding our country with criminal elements and fentanyl killing our young people. And then they push these crazy ideas like boys playing in girls' sports, men going into women's bathrooms, or transgendering our kids. That's right. Now, what they are experts at is lying. Kamala Harris and Tammy Baldwin are expert liars. You know, President Trump, Tammy Baldwin runs ads acting like she worked with you and getting things done in this state. I mean, it's priceless. Kamala Harris is now trying to steal your ideas. No tax on tips. They're trying to act like they are pushing it back against the invasion of our southern border. We're going to be tough on the border. Right. Where have you been? They've pushed to defund the police. They never stood with the police. Now they're trying to act like they're tough on law enforcement. Everything they've said has been a lie. And on top of it, they're corrupt. They are corrupt. Tammy Baldwin rails against Wall Street, and yet she lives on Wall Street with her Wall Street executive partner and taking money hand over fist. So that's what we're up against. Now, folks, as President Trump said, we have 59 days. This is the time. We can't go another 4 years what they're going to put us through. I'm going to tell every one of you, you have to walk away from here today. You have to grab every neighbor you know who's in the middle. Every family member that you know that's in the middle. Every friend, you got to sit down, you got to talk to them, and you got to get them to come over to our side for President Trump and me to bring this country back. So, are you ready? Are you ready to fight for your country? Are you ready to save the American dream? Let's go get them! Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Eric. Great speech. Eric, thank you very much. That was great. He'd be a great senator. He'll be with another great senator, a friend of mine for a long time, Ron Johnson, who's here and made a wonderful speech. Thank you, Ron. Ron made a wonderful, wonderful speech. And you have a congressman from Texas that's here. He's very special. He's been with me from day one. He would be with me even if I did a lousy job, perhaps. But he likes the job I've done. He literally is camped out in Wisconsin. His name is Troy Nels, and he brought his brother. I believe they're twins. You certainly look like twins. Huh? He's better looking than you, actually. But Troy is amazing. His brother's Trevor, and what Troy has done is incredible. He's literally very popular in Texas. He's a very powerful, wonderful congressman in Texas, and he's come here, and he's staying here, and he's working so hard. And I said, what are you doing? He says, we got to get you elected. If you win Wisconsin, you're going to win the whole thing. This is a big deal. Wisconsin's a big deal. So I remember that, Troy. I know it. I've been hearing all about Troy. He's doing meetings and speeches and everything. And you know, it's amazing. He's back in Texas. They love him even more for what you're doing because they know exactly. We're doing very nicely in Texas, to put it mildly. We're winning by about 16 points or something. But this is a big one, so thank you very much. I appreciate you both very much. Thank you. And a man who I watched his speech, he did a very, very good job, Tom Tiffany. Where's Tom? Tom, great job. Great speech. Thank you. I watched it from the plane, Tom. Great. Thank you. Very popular guy, very good guy, very great congressman. Wisconsin GOP Chairman where is Brian? Brian Schimming. Brian, thank you very much. He's doing are we winning, Brian? I think so, right? You've been fantastic. Thank you, Brian, right from day one. Door County GOP Chair, Stephanie Susek. Stephanie? Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Great job. Pierce County GOP Chair, Stephanie Poton. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Two Stephanies. And Marathon County GOP Chair, where are you? Kevin, where are you? Kevin, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kevin. Also with us is famed country singer, and she wrote some songs that have been top of the line and a winner of awards all over the place. Gretchen Wilson. Where's Gretchen? Gretchen, thank you very much. Great job. Great job. Do you want to come up, Gretchen? Okay, come up. Come up. Come on. What the hell? It's a Saturday. We have all day, right? Come on. Thank you. Thank you. It's a great honor. Thank you, Gretchen. Very nice.
I have notes. Is that okay?
Yes, sure.
Hello again, Wisconsin. My name again is Gretchen Wilson. I'm a Midwesterner. I come from a very small town in southern Illinois. I grew up very much like Senator J.D. Vance. I had to work hard and fight my way out of poverty just like many other Americans have done. But this is what I was taught to do, to earn my way. Since then, I've done the impossible. I am now a Grammy award-winning country music artist, a producer, a songwriter, and most importantly, a mom. Now, back in the day, my family were all Kennedy Democrats, but that's when the Democrats were on the side of the people. Once I started paying attention to what was really going on, I realized the Democratic Party left us. As a songwriter, I pay close attention to words. The words that are being used and the words that are not being used. I urge all Americans to pay close attention to what you are hearing and not hearing from the media. Because the issues that are most important for our survival are what we're voting on. I'm here today to entertain you, but I'm also here today to show my support for the only team in this race that is telling you the truth. My story isn't really that rare, but the American dream that I have been fortunate enough to find will most certainly be lost forever if we do not show up and vote for freedom in November. It is on us. Let's make sure we, the people, do all we can to save our country by voting for President Trump and J.D. Vance. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Gretchen. Thank you, Gretchen. What a good job. Thank you, Gretchen. Great. That's great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Gretchen. As borders are, Kamala Harris let in over 20 million. They're now saying the number could be 25 million illegal aliens from 168 different countries. Most people don't even know that you have that many countries. Coming from prisons and jails, insane asylums and mental institutions, and terrorists at a level that we've never seen before. You know, I told this a few times. We were, during the Border Patrol is fantastic, and ICE, and our whole thing with the police officers, these are people that are brave and great, and they really want to do their job. But they came out with the Border Patrol a study on terrorism, and they said in 2019, my year, they said not one terrorist came into the country. Now, I don't really believe that. It can't be that good. It can't be, because now we have thousands coming in. But the fact that they'd even say that, and they didn't do it for me, they just did a report. They said not one terrorist, 2019, check it out. They said not one terrorist came into the country. Now we have thousands and thousands and thousands of terrorists pouring into our country at record levels. And it's going to end very badly. It's going to end very badly. We got to get them the hell out of here. We got to get them out of here fast. What they've done in allowing maybe 25 million people into our country, it should be illegal. They're destroying, it should be illegal. Maybe it is illegal. They're destroying our country. They're ruining our country. In Aurora, Colorado, entire apartment complexes are being taken over by armed Venezuela gangs with weapons, the likes of which even the military doesn't see. They're terrorizing residents and they're just menacing the whole state. But they are menacing that community, and the people are petrified. Even the sheriff, he's trying his best, but he's got a small force by comparison. This is like a military force, and they're vicious, violent people. By the way, Venezuela crime is down 72%. Crime is down all over the world because they're sending their criminals, not just South America, from all over the world. They're sending their criminals. They're sending people in jail for murder and drugs and everything else. They're sending them into our country. They're getting rid of them. Crime's down all over the world. Our crime is through the roof. And you haven't seen the migrant crime yet. It started and it's vicious, but you haven't seen the extent of it yet. They're just getting settled in. Colorado is a total mess with a governor that has no idea what to do. He has no idea. He's confused. He's afraid of the migrants, but he doesn't want to say it because that's a bad thing to say if you're a Democrat. You know, they put you right out of business. He fears the policies of Kamala, but doesn't want to lose his base or his job. He's afraid to say anything about it. Colorado began the threat to democracy against me, where they tried to unconstitutionally remove me from the ballot. I was the leading person in the whole country, leading everybody by a lot. And they said, let's remove him from the ballot. And then they say, I'm a threat to democracy. Think about that. But Colorado was the one that did it at the behest of the governor, probably. Many people in Colorado were absolutely angry at it. They didn't like it. Even Democrats and liberals, they said, that's terrible. You can't do that. Democrats did it. The concept of taking the number one person in the Republican Party by far and taking him off the ballot so that the Republicans don't even have a nominee, because this was very far down the line. The case for me was won at the court quickly and unanimously, and the governor, Jared Polis, had no idea what to do or say, never apologized, never did anything. They are radicals headed up by a radical governor in Colorado that has no clue how to solve this influx of crime into his state. And by the way, Colorado's one state. It's much worse in other states. But in Colorado, they've taken over. I mean, in Colorado, they're so brazen, they're taking over sections of the state. And, you know, getting them out will be a bloody story. Should have never been allowed to come into our country. Nobody checked them. Nobody checked, were they criminals? Were they from jails? We have them pouring out from jails. We have the worst criminals in all of these countries. 168 so far are registered, 168 countries. They're in our country, and they said, if you come back, you will be executed, you will be killed immediately. Not going to be easy, but we'll do it. But they have no clue how to solve their influx of crime in Colorado or anywhere else. But far more importantly, heading this governor's way are numbers of bad people that nobody will ever believe. That's just a little small group of people that are taking over. These people are tough. I always say they make our criminals look like nice people. At the time it happened, people said I would win Colorado. Colorado's traditionally not a Republican state. But I was actually tied and leading in polls in Colorado because people were so incensed at what this governor and his cronies had done. by trying to strip the Republican Party of their candidate. So if I don't win Colorado, it will be taken over by migrants and the governor will be sent fleeing, because the people of Colorado should really do something that would be a classic. They should do a major protest vote in favor of Trump to reject the threat to democracy that they caused by an attempt at ballot removal. And Illinois is really the same thing, and Maine, another one. I mean, I don't understand. You know, I did very well in Maine, but they did that. The governors did that. Illinois is one of the worst run states in the country, headed by a governor, J.B. Pritzker, whose family threw him out of the family business, so he became governor instead. And his state is going to hell. It's horrible what's happening. So if you live in Chicago and your state is going to hell, vote for Donald Trump. Just vote. We'll do a good job. We'll clean it up. We'll get rid of that horrible crime. You know, in Labor Day weekend, Chicago had 117 people shot, 17 died. This is worse than Afghanistan. This is worse than any place. It's a war zone. Other states should also vote for Trump in protest because their way of life has been changed in America. Protest it. Go back to the Democrats in 4 years, but you won't, because we'll clean up this mess. And you'll say, we're never voting for a Democrat. We like Trump and his friends. Migrants and crime are here in our country at levels never thought possible before, never even thought possible. You're not safe even sitting here, to be honest with you. I'm the only one that's going to get it done. Everybody's saying that. I'm starting to believe it myself, but they're saying the only one that's going to get it done, and I will tell you, I'm going to get it done. And so go out and do that protest. If you're Maine, if you're in Illinois, if you're in any state, because you're being overrun by criminals. You're being overrun by people. They're not being checked. They're not being vetted. They're taking over our country. They're forming armies in our country. And Aurora is just one example of many locations. Other places are probably even in worse shape. We just haven't heard about them yet. And a lot of governors don't like talking about it. Like this guy Polis, he said, no, don't talk about it. We don't want the world to find out. The world has found out. The world has found out. They have all the pictures. They have all the tape that you want. I've never seen anything like it. They walk in, they throw people out of their apartments, they take over the whole building. Now they take over another building. They're in the real estate business. Isn't that nice? They were in jail 2 months ago. Now they're in the real estate business in Colorado. Just 2 days ago, right here in small town Wisconsin, what a beautiful place. However, a member of a savage Venezuela gang was arrested for sexually assaulting a woman and attacking viciously a child. He's charged with suffocation, child abuse, sexual assault, and many other things. Bad guy. Shouldn't be in the country. Came out of jail in his country. I will get these monster criminals out of Wisconsin. I will get them out of our country. We're going to get them out fast. We're going to get them out fast. Very fast. They'll soon be back on the streets and jails of Caracas, Venezuela, and other places from where they came. Think of it, though. Venezuela crime is down 72%. People are saying, oh, isn't it wonderful, Venezuela? In fact, if they win, we're never going to lose touch with each other if they win. But we won't come here. It'll be too dangerous. We will have a meeting. We will have a rally in Caracas, Venezuela, because it will be safe by comparison to Wisconsin. Okay? So we'll all hop on a flight. We'll go over to Caracas, Venezuela, or one of hundreds of other countries that are safer than the U.S., because our country is a very unsafe country now. And we're really subject to what these people want to do. And these are violent people. These are people that were criminals at the worst level in their cities all over the world. 22 people out of the Congo in Africa. It's not just South America. People think it's Honduras and Guatemala, El Salvador, Mexico. It's not. It's countries all over the world. They're coming in. 22 people from the Congo in Africa. Where are you from? From the Congo. Oh, that's nice. Where did you live? Jail. Oh, what did you do? It's none of your business. That's what they told the people. It's none of your business. You can imagine what it is. But from Africa, from the Middle East, from Europe, from Asia. They're coming in from everywhere. They're getting rid of their criminals. They're bringing them into the United States of America, our beautiful country, our now failing country. It's a failing country under these lunatics. And they're bringing them in at levels that nobody's ever seen before. Ron Johnson sees it. He sees it all the time, and he gets sick over it. But we're going to do something about it, Ron. We're going to get it done. We have to. We have no choice. It's not like we have a choice. Not like we can say, oh, well, we'll live with it. You can't live with it because you're going to be killed. These are killers. But from all over the world, you take a look at the crime statistics. You take a look at the jail statistics. The jails are being emptied out. The mental institutions are being emptied out. And insane asylums. And then the press, when I say Dr. Hannibal Lecter, the press says, oh, why did he mention that? They're wise guys back there, just wise guys. They say he rambled and started talking about Hannibal Lecter. What does that have to do? That's a representative of people that are coming into our country. Dr. Hannibal Lecter, he will have you for dinner. You know that? He will have you for dinner. No, but this is what's happened. This is what's happening at levels that nobody can even imagine. Millions and millions. J.D. Vance is doing a phenomenal job. Today he said 25 million. He's doing a great job. You know, I picked the best athlete. I had great people, and great people. We have so many wonderful people. Marco was incredible, and Tim Scott was incredible, and you have a governor in a certain place that has a lot of oil. You know who I'm talking about. How good was he? And you have just great places. And great people, and I got to know so many. I picked J.D. J.D., and I could have picked anyone. They would have been great. But J.D. had an incredible life. He had a mother who was very addicted to prescription drugs and not a lot of help from the father. And he was a great student, however, very smart. He went to Ohio State, graduated at the top of his class in 2 years. I said, 2 years, that's pretty good. I never heard of that. Then he went into the military. Then he came out, got accepted to Yale Law School, which is very hard to do without a father that has connections. Very hard to do, almost impossible. The reason he was accepted was that he was really smart. He was smart as hell. And then he worked, I guess, essentially on Wall Street or Wall Street alternative or equivalent and did very well. And then he ran for office. I endorsed him, and he became a senator from the great state of Ohio, and he's doing amazingly well. But he's a brilliant guy, and the press went after him for about the first week, and then they gave up because he has the answers. He's really, he's conservative, but he really is like all of us. We're all sort of conservative, but what we really are is we have common sense, right? We have common sense. Common sense is more important, Ron, than anything else. We need common sense. We'd like to have borders. We don't want crime. We want good schools. We want nice housing. We want low interest rates, you know. It's called, we don't want wars. Ideally, we don't want wars. Everyone thought I'd be a warmonger. I was the opposite. But I did scare people away from having wars. And you know what I did? I used tariffs. I heard two countries were going to have a war. I called them both. I said, here's the story. You have a war. You're going to have to pay a 200% tariff to do business in the United States. And they'd both say, the leaders would say to me almost simultaneously, we've decided to make peace. I stopped so many wars. They went to Viktor Orban, the fake news. They went to Viktor Orban and they said, why is the world such a mess right now? It's flaming up in the Middle East and Israel and what's happened with Russia, Ukraine. Why is it? They said, you need Trump back in. He said, nobody understood Trump. China was afraid of him. Russia was afraid of him. You know, I stopped the Nord Stream pipeline, Nord Stream 2. And then they say I was very friendly with Russia. I got along good with sort of everybody, but everybody paid up. They had to pay up. We changed so many trade deals. It was so bad. USMCA, we made that one. That was a great one from the worst trade deal we ever had. NAFTA, the worst trade deal any country probably has ever had. But we did a really good job. But J.D., we're very proud of him. And he made a speech this morning, and I heard it was great. And I think you will agree, Ron, he's doing a fantastic job. As Vice President Harris cast the tie-breaking votes that caused the worst inflation in American history, costing a typical family $28,000. Think of that. Yesterday, it was announced that we lost 438,000 full-time jobs in August. We lost 400, almost 500,000 jobs in August. We lost 24,000 manufacturing jobs, nearly 6,000 auto manufacturing jobs. And if I'm not elected, you will not have an auto industry at all. Volvo today announced they're getting away from the electric. Other companies announced. We have paid trillions of dollars in subsidy for making these cars, and the market's not there. It's not there. It's a shame. And I'm a big fan of electric cars. I think it's great, but it's got a market. But I also want gasoline-powered cars, and I want hybrids. I want everything. Hydrogen is maybe coming. We want everything. The real unemployment rate rose to 7.9% in August. Did you know that? 7.9%. Our country's going down. Last month alone, American-born workers lost 1.3 million jobs, and migrants gained 635,000 jobs in a single month. Every job that we've gained has been replaced, not by American citizens, but by illegal migrants. Did you know that? Every job that was created over the last fairly short period of time was taken by illegal migrants. And I will tell you this, the black population and the Hispanic population are being decimated by these people coming in unchecked, unbalanced. They're coming in and they're taking the black population and the Hispanic population jobs. And next is going to be unions. You watch the unions suffer. The auto workers are not going to exist in a year and a half or 2 years because of what that fool did. Who's the head of the auto workers? He's a fool. Since the start of this year, nearly 1 million Americans joined the unemployment rolls. Nobody knows that. And now Kamala is pushing the largest individual small business tax in American history. And she said 70 to 80% tax is probably a good idea, a bold idea that should be discussed. 80%. Good luck with your small business. She and Sleepy Joe Biden waged war on American energy, opened up the Russian pipeline, Nord Stream 2, after I had closed it. It was done. It was closed. As soon as he came in, he approved it. But he shut down the Keystone XL pipeline, Keystone. He shut it down, 48,000 jobs, and it was a very important pipeline, actually, but we'll get it open. But think of it. I shut down the biggest pipeline in the world, the Russian pipeline going to Germany and all over Europe. I shut it down. It was done. He gets in. He approved it. He approved it. But he shuts down the pipeline in this country, the XL pipeline. She re-entered the horribly unfair to the United States Paris Climate Accord. It sounds so nice, the Paris Climate Accord. Such a nice name. Oh, isn't that beautiful? We want the Wisconsin Accord. We want the people of Wisconsin, not the people of Paris. That Paris Accord was going to cost us $1 trillion, and other countries like China, it was considered third world. China, it's a developing nation. They didn't have to pay anything. India didn't have to pay anything. Russia didn't have to pay anything. France didn't have to pay anything. Nobody had to pay, only the stupid United States. We paid $1 trillion. And I closed it down, and as soon as he got back up, he opened it at even worse terms. Kamala Harris and the communist left have unleashed a brutal plague of bloodshed, crime, chaos, misery, and death upon our land, and it's only going to get worse. As Vice President, Harris has presided over a 43% increase in violent crime, including a 58% increase in rape. She supports defund the police, and during the 2020 riots, she encouraged her followers to donate to bail criminals, looters, arsonists, and murderers. She was trying to get the murderers out of jail, right? You're shaking, right? Everybody now knows it. And this is a person that wants to be president of the United States, and she didn't get a vote. As California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as totally nonviolent crimes. Oh, that's nice. Kamala supports states being able to take minor children and perform sex change operation, take them away from their parents, perform sex change operation, and send them back home. Can you imagine you're a parent and your son leaves the house and you say, Jimmy, I love you so much. Go have a good day in school. And your son comes back with a brutal operation. Can you even imagine this? what the hell is wrong with our country? Her running mate, Tampon Tim. Did you see he signed a bill where tampons will be in every boy's bathroom? Isn't that nice? And he's a whack job. You know, they have a standard phrase that JD, who's very solid, and I happen to be very solid. I have other problems, perhaps, but I'm a very solid person. But JD's solid, I'm solid. They said this was just a soundbite. They gave it to all the fake news. The fake news, they're weird. No, he's weird. He is really weird. This guy. Can you imagine? I'm weird. It's just, you know, they do sound bites, and they gave one the other day, manufactured. The vote was manufactured. It's not a term that's used politically. Every network headed up something about the vote was manufactured. They follow the lead of these people, but we've got the lead. You know what? We've got the people. We got to stop the cheating. If we stop that cheating, if we don't let them cheat, I don't even have to campaign anymore. We're going to win by so much. In the meantime, too big to rig. Too big to rig. But he even signed, Tampon Tim, even signed a law that allows abortion in the 9th month and babies to be executed after birth. In other words, the baby is born, and what do? The mother decides she doesn't want the baby. You execute. That's not an abortion, that's an execution. And nobody wants that. There are 6 radical left states that allow that too, that nobody wants it to happen, nobody wants to see it happen, where they're allowed to execute the baby after birth, and nobody talks about it. And, you know, we did a great thing when we got Roe v. Wade out of the federal government, got it back to the states, and now the states are all voting. And like Ronald Reagan, I happen to go with the exceptions. I think it's important, but other people, you have to go with your heart, but I'd say most people, 85% Republicans, they go with exceptions for rape, incest, life of the mother. But the 3 exceptions, but nobody wants to happen 8th month, 7th month, 9th month, but after birth. And you have after birth, and more people, more states are even planning on doing that. Nobody wants that. And now what we're doing is, because of what we've done, they wanted, all the great legal scholars wanted it out of the federal government. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, everybody wanted it out because it didn't belong there. They wanted it to go back to the states. And now the states are all voting. And frankly, some of those votes are coming out very liberal. If you look at Ohio, if you look at Kansas, if you look at some of the states. But the people are voting, and they're voting. We put it in the hands of the people, and they're voting. And that's the way people have wanted it for many, many years. And I'm just happy that we had Supreme Court justices that had the courage to do that, because that has torn our country apart for 52 years. And now the people are voting. From the moment we take back the White House from Comrade Kamala Harris, I believe we are going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We're going to turn it around fast. Starting on day 1, I will seal the border and stop the migrant invasion of our country. We will carry out the largest deportation operation of criminals in the history of America. We will defeat inflation, and we will make America affordable again. We will make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. That's called drill, baby, drill, right? Drill, baby, drill. And remember, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any other country. In 12 months, I will cut your energy costs in half. That means Wisconsin. We will cut it in half. And that includes your heating, air conditioning, electricity, gasoline for the cars. We'll cut it in half, and we'll do it easily. It won't even be, I think we'll do better than that. 12 months. You can hold me to it. Hold me to it. I want you to hold me to it. We're going to cut it in half. I will turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower more than it has ever been. And other countries that make us pay a heavy tax to do business with them will be charged the same tax when they send their product into the United States. And we did it to a pretty strong extent when I was president, and we were going all the way. Then we had to solve the COVID problem. But we will be doing that. It will be called the Reciprocal Trade Act. It's reciprocal. So if China or any other country charges us a 100 or 200% tariff or tax, then we will likewise charge them a 100 or 200% tariff or tax in return. And my message is simple: make your product here in America and only in America. So we're going to charge tariffs to all these foreign countries that are coming in and ripping us off and taking our jobs and destroying our manufacturing. And it's what they do. We're going to do the same as they do. And, you know, some of these people that are making decisions in Washington, they're very suspect, I can tell you. Not this group. This group, that's why they're here. They hate what they see happening. We're not going to be taken advantage of anymore, just as we made great inroads and progress 4 years ago. Nobody ever made such progress as we. We had the greatest 4 years. We rebuilt the military. We had the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. We had no wars. We had no wars. We didn't get into any wars. Who would think, here I am, we didn't, you know why? Because they were afraid of us and they respected us. They know not to mess with wars. And as I said, and I say it over and over again, Ukraine and Russia would have never happened. Israel would have never been attacked on October 7th. Iran was broke. They were broke. Now, you know, they're after me. So I should say, oh, I love Iran very much. I don't care. I got to do the right thing. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for Hezbollah. They had no money for terror. Any of the many 28 different terror organizations, they had no money. They had no money whatsoever. They wouldn't have ever even thought about doing Israel. All of the things that have happened, and you know what else wouldn't have happened? Inflation. You wouldn't have had any inflation. Inflation was caused by energy going through the roof because these people were so stupid when they took over my energy policies. And energy was going through the roof, and then they went immediately back to my energy policies, Ron. They went immediately back. But what they don't understand is by now, I would have had energy at 4 times the amount that we had 4 years ago. And we were 4 years ago energy independent. Who would believe that? Now we get our energy from Venezuela. Did you see they took his plane the other day? They took Maduro's plane. Maduro's the dictator in charge. They took his plane. I said, oh, that's so serious. Now we can get a nicer plane because we buy our energy. So we give them billions and billions of dollars and they take back his stupid old plane. This is the thinking we have in our country. We shouldn't be buying oil from Venezuela. It's unbelievable. But we're not going to watch our wealth and our jobs get ripped away from us and sent to foreign countries. And Wisconsin will be one of the biggest beneficiaries, just like I gave you the Marinette shipbuilding contract that everybody in the country wanted. Every state wanted it. I'll probably lose a couple of states because I gave it to Wisconsin. I'll probably lose some states because I gave it to Wisconsin. But my plan is that if you open your factory in Wisconsin or Pennsylvania or Michigan or Minnesota or anywhere else in the United States, you don't pay a tariff or a tax. But if you move your production outside of the United States and send it back here, you have to pay a very substantial tariff. We're going to supercharge our country. We will charge other countries when their product is sent into our country. And why shouldn't we? That's exactly what they do. That's what made China strong. When Elon goes and wants to send his cars into China that are made in the U.S., they say, we don't want them. You have to build your factory in China. Then we'll accept you. Well, we're saying to China, you want to build cars? You want to send cars here? You're going to build your factories in the United States. You're not going to send them through. Take our jobs, take everything else. Got to build them in the United States. You can open up a beautiful brand new factory with American labor. The result will be that everybody in the world will want to produce right here in the good old USA. We will be able to build ships again. We will be able to build planes again. We'll be able to build our military again, all from within our country. You know, when we build a plane, the F-35 fighter jet, I bought a lot of them. For countries all over the world, actually, but I bought a lot of them. We have parts made in all different countries, and then they're assembled here. We want to make the parts here. What would happen in case of a war and 2 of those countries were fighting? And we say, by the way, you can't get the wings anymore. The wings are made in Turkey, and other parts are made in other countries. It's so crazy what they've done. And they did that to help out other countries. It's now time for us to help out our country. In the words of a very great but highly underrated president, William McKinley, I am a tariff man standing on a tariff platform. And he said that throwing open our market without protection was, quote, it destroys the dignity and independence of American labor, diminishes its pay and employment, decreases its capacity to buy products of farm and commodities of the merchant. It will bring widespread discontent. It will revolutionize values. It will take away more than half of our earning capacity of brain and brawn. Worse than that, it will take away from the people of this country who work for a living, and a majority of them live by the sweat on their faces. It will take from their heart and from their home, and it'll take from their hope. Their final thing is their hope. It will be total self-destruction. This is the man that wanted tariffs. He wanted tariffs to be taken from foreign countries. And you listen to some of our stupid people and some of the very stupid people in Washington, D.C. We don't want to charge tariffs. That's not, it's going to increase inflation. China paid us hundreds of billions of dollars, and we had almost no inflation. This group that came in, they had the highest inflation in the history of our country. We took in billions and billions of dollars from foreign countries in the form of tariffs, and I hadn't even gotten started yet. We'll be a rich nation again. We'll be able to do what we want to do. We have to do the tariffs. We have been treated so badly, mostly by allies, if you want to know the truth. Our allies treat us actually worse than our so-called enemies. But we have been treated so badly on trade and other things, on military. We protect them, and then they screw us on trade. We're not going to let it happen anymore. We're going to be a tariff nation. It's not going to be a cost to you. It's going to be a cost to another country. I heard Kamala the other day, Comrade Kamala, she said, oh, if you do that, he's raising your taxes. No, no, no. I'm not raising your taxes. I'm raising China. And all of these countries in Asia and all over the world, including the European Union, by the way, which is one of the most egregious. They don't take our cars, they don't take our farm product, and we have a $300 billion trade deficit with them. And they're going to have to pay a price now because we've been supporting them for a long time, and it's no longer sustainable. So I'm a tariff president. I'm not a tax increase president, because we're going to lower your taxes. When I'm back in the White House, we will pass large tax cuts for workers and also no tax on tips. No tax on tips. I will fight for you and fight for the ability. We are going to protect Social Security. We are going to protect Medicare. And we're not going to have any cuts. We're not going to have age increases. She's going to have to, you know, a lot of these migrants that are coming in are going on to Social Security and Medicare. Your programs are going to be destroyed. You're not going to be able to get in your hospitals. You see the lines of people? You can no longer get in your hospitals. You feel sick. You want to go to your hospital. You have hundreds and even thousands of people trying to get into hospitals. They're ruining your life. They're ruining your lifestyle. They're ruining your way of life. I will have no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors because you've destroyed our seniors with your inflation. Inflation has destroyed our seniors and their Social Security. We will terminate the Green New Scam and spend that money on roads, bridges, real infrastructure, and paying down debt, not fake infrastructure that has caused massive inflation and has been of no benefit to our country. And I will settle the war in Ukraine. I will end the chaos in the Middle East. And I will prevent World War III. And I'm the only one that can do it. I will prevent World War III. And if I don't win this election, Israel, with Comrade Kamala Harris at the helm of the United States, is doomed. Israel is doomed. That's a tough statement. Israel will be gone. 1 year, 2 years, Israel will no longer exist. I better win. I better win, or you're going to have problems like we've never had. We may have no country left. It may be our last election. You want to know the truth? People have said that. This may be our last election. You got to get out and vote. This could be our last election. It'll all be over, and you got to remember, I don't want to say this because they say it's braggadocious, but if you look at the record, it's true. Trump is always right. I hate to be right. I hate to be right. I'm always right. I hate to be right. I don't want to be right about the things that I predicted, but I predicted what was going to happen at the border. I predicted all of the inflation. I predicted everything that's happened to our country. I predicted Israel. Putin would have never gone in, but I said if I'm out, he's going to attack Ukraine, but he would never have done it if I were there. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C. Our cities are a mess, and they're very dangerous places. We're going to make them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency, and it is currently under major siege. Many countries are leaving the dollar. They're not going to leave the dollar with me. I'll say, you leave the dollar. You're not doing business with the United States because we're going to put 100% tariff on your goods. Sir, we would like very much to get back to the dollar immediately. Thank you very much. It's so easy. I don't know. It's so sad because Biden doesn't know he's alive and she's worse. This is how we will end the era of inflation, mayhem, and misery under Kamala and Crooked Joe, and unleash safety, prosperity, and peace for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. Together we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, and low inflation so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home. We will stop the invasion, end migrant crime, support our great police, strengthen our wonderful military, build a missile defense shield around our country, keep critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And we will keep men out of women's sports. Did you see the Olympics? You had two boxers that transitioned from men to women. I wish them well. They transitioned and they were fighting. It was boxing for the gold medal. And the first match, it was a beautiful young Italian boxer who was very talented, very good, said to be a real threat for the medal. And she met a transitioned person. Boom. He gave her a little jab. Boom. She backed up. Whoa, what was that? She said, I've never been hit that hard in my life. A jab is like the light one before you hit the right. Then, boom, another jab. She said, I can't, I give up. Then there was a second boxer, the same thing happened. Congratulations, they both won gold medals. How about that? They both won gold. Congratulations to them. It's so demeaning to women, I don't understand. Who would want men to be able to play? The volleyball player got hit the other day recently with a smash from a transitioned person. She said, I've never seen anything like it. The ball came, she was knocked unconscious, probably won't play again. The weightlifting records for years they held up, they couldn't, a quarter of an ounce here, a quarter of an ounce there, they couldn't do it. The record is broken by hundreds of pounds. We got to get back to sanity in this country. We have to get back to sanity. We will defend the Second Amendment, restore free speech, and we will secure our elections once and for all. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with joy, opportunity, and hope. But for that to happen, we must defeat Comrade Kamala Harris, and we're going to stop the country-destroying liberal agenda. Once and for all, we're going to do it. We have to stop it. We're going to save our country. Our country, if it doesn't win this election, I believe is finished. I believe it. We cannot come back much. They will have 100 million of these people in here with another 4 years. 100 million people. If you think you have a nice house, have a migrant enjoy your house because a migrant will take it over. A migrant will take it over. It will be Venezuela on steroids. So get everyone you know and vote. We want a landslide that's too big to rig. On November 5th, we will save our economy. We will rescue our middle class. We will reclaim our sovereignty and restore our borders. We will put America first, and we will take back our country. Together, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. We will make America free again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much, Wisconsin. God bless you. God bless you.
Wow. Wow. So I think this thing started somewhere around 1:30, 1:45. This guy went off today. I mean, we're talking 2+ hours. I don't know if it was the temperature in Wisconsin or if he's just fired up and says, this is my closing speech. I need to take Kamala out on Tuesday. He's doing the dance. Love it. Absolutely love it. Amazing. When I look at the trolls that come in here and people say, don't pay any attention to trolls, don't worry about them. I don't worry about them. I just wonder, what kind of mental deficiency does one have to vote against their own self-interest? What specifically do the Democrats offer these nuts? There is nothing, and I do mean nothing, that Kamala Harris can offer Americans. And the reason why I feel so confident in saying that is she's had 3 years to do it. So are these trolls basically voting for more of the same? Do you want to see things? Look at the size of that guy. Do they want to see more of the same gas prices? Want to see jobs being fudged? Want to see millions and millions and millions coming across the border? Want to pay more for your grocery prices? Want to pay more for your rent or mortgage? What is it that trolls and people on the left think that Kamala Harris can bring to the table? If you're going to tell me right now that the only answer to that question is that she's not Donald Trump, then you're going to tell all of us you're really an idiot. I don't care about somebody's personality. I care about what they mean to America. America. That city on the hill that we all have lived our lives in and want to see prosper. How can you possibly be looking at Kamala Harris as an option? And you've had it for 3.5 years. You can see. How can you tell anybody in this chat that your life is better now than it was when Trump was president? What is it? Instead of like flaming people and saying nasty things and, bringing up all, just answer a simple question. What part of your life is better today than it was back when Trump was president? Name one thing that's better. That's all I'd like to ask you. Because you can't. There is no aspect of your life that is better today than it was 4 years ago. Nope, can't happen. And I don't mean, the orange man, and I'm not talking about Dementia Joe at this point. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the left nut troll, the liberal who wants to vote for Kamala Harris. You got a chance. Sell us. We who vote and want to see Trump win and see America prosper, we see it. So maybe there's something that we don't see that you could educate us on, because I have no idea. I've tried to talk to people on the left and say, what is it that you think is going to make your life better? Give me one aspect of it. And please don't tell me about, Trump's and this or Trump's that, or he's a con. I ask you a question, very simple question. Be an adult for once. Tell us what you think Kamala Harris can do that will affect your life better than Trump. If you can't answer that, then we know you're just gone, idiotic, stupid, like he said, emotional. Maybe your nipples hurt or something. I don't know. you got some problems. You need to talk it out. You need a hug. Because other than that, there is not a single thing that you could tell any one of us Trump supporters that makes any sense. Joanne says it's easy to believe the lies. It's very difficult to receive the truth. Yeah, I don't understand it. These people are spiritually. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even looking to go to their spiritual aspect of their lives. I'm just saying life in general. From the time you flip the lights on in the morning till the time you flip them off at night, what part of your life is better than it was when Trump was president? It's a very simple question. I doubt any of them will ask. They don't. Somebody says here, the Muslim lady at my job is voting for Trump. Barry, they can't do it and they won't do it. They are despicable. Yeah. If you ever try to have an actual conversation, I saw today was just crazy. Absolutely crazy in this chat. We had almost 16,000 comments. I know the mods in here were like, oh my God, Ashley and SV and Cindy were just, Tommy, we're in here just, oh my God, how do we police all this? Well, just think of this as the warm-up for Tuesday night. Because Tuesday night, it's going to be off the chain. It's going to be crazy. I don't know how many orcs are going to get set loose in here. I can't even imagine. But liberals don't understand common sense, but they don't understand any sense. If you have a job and you're not a ward of the state, if you are an American citizen, well, I don't know. I look in here and I just look at him like, well, is there anything you can say that you're better today? What part of your life is better? Why are you falling for the same old stuff? Black people, talk to my own family. You've been promised the world for decades. Over and over and over, and look where you are. The only reason certain people I know that are black and people in my family is because they've used Republican principles. You know, hey, I'm a Democrat, vote until April 15th. On April 15th, all of a sudden you become a Republican for a day. Wow, I just got really conservative. Yes, you did. I've seen your schedules and how you put your tax situation together, and for 364 days, you go ahead and wave the banner. BLM, yeah. Oh, I got to file taxes? Let me go ahead and take advantage of some of this stuff here. Oh, Schedule C, let me put this down. Let me deduct that. Oh, don't tell anybody, though. But I learned this from my conservative friends. Okay, it's April 16th. BLM, baby. Defund the police. But I just saw what you did. Every one of these actors, actresses, singers, entertainers, celebrity, football players, you're all conservative on April 14th and 15th. Then you turn back into the hypocritical person you are on April 16th. There is no way any of these people are serious in what they're doing. They're doing it because of their fan base. Their fan base wants to hear LeBron. Yeah, I'm for Kamala. Steph Curry, I'm for Kamala. Really? Really? I've seen your real estate. You have a house down here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm actually Miami. I see that you hold it in an LLC. It's not in your personal name. Why would you be holding property in an LLC? Come on, LeBron. Tell the truth. Why do you have a business in a different LLC? I'm waiting. Did you take homestead exemption in the property down here in Florida? Why would you take homestead exemption? Oh, so you don't have to pay taxes. Do your fans know that when you get out there and put on the BLM, take a knee? Do they know what you're doing on April 14th and 15th? Of course not. It's all bullshit. I've been in real estate a long, long time. I've bought a lot of property. I've dealt with people who've got tens of millions. I used to work for a billionaire. I know what they do when they walk into the office with their accountants, their team of accountants, their lawyers. Okay, how do I get out of paying that? All right, so I need to move this over here? Yeah. All right, don't tell nobody. Because when I leave here, I got to put on the glasses, make sure the beard looks good, and go BLM with my brothers. Oh yeah, you know that school that LeBron put together that tanked, where everybody failed? Tax write-off. Stop with the lies. If you're a liberal, own it. If you're so in the tank for Harris, pony up 60 to 70% of your money and shut up. Prove it. Post your taxes, your tax return online. Let everybody see that you gave up 70% of your income, but you won't do it. Tell us, show us that you didn't buy a car in a company name so you could write off the taxes on the nice big Cybertruck that you bought. Tell us. Because I'll expose it. I know exactly what you people are doing. And so if there's a single liberal in this chat, good, tell me how your life is better than it was with Trump as president. There ain't nothing orange about that. That's all green. 100% is green. Your property was safer. You're paying less insurance. Quit being fake, man. That's the whole thing. You know how you always say, let's keep it real? You're not keeping it real. It ain't 100. You ain't keeping it at 100. You're lying to everybody around you. It sounds good. The virtual signaling makes a lot of sense. Wear the mask. Cheer for the baby removal. Do all that stuff. But when you get into your own business and you speak to the people around you, you're a conservative on April 15th. You just phony the other 364 days of the year. It's pure ignorance, all right. They got nothing to say. What they want is to not. Oh, where'd that go? Oh, is not need to have self-direction and take any responsibility for their actions. They want a central authority to give them orders. They want uniformity. Yeah, they want NPCs. They just all want us to do the same. As I've said many times, you want to see a liberal, you want to see their lips just go, just fall apart? Excuse me, Mr. Liberal? Yeah. We all should be paying our fair share, correct? Yeah. Can you define fair share? No, you just said we all should be paying our fair share. Every liberal politician says it all the time. People need to be paying their fair share. Can you define that? And just shut up and watch them throw up all over themselves. The entire liberal ideology is built on a lie. They don't want to admit it because everything that they say, they don't want to live. I don't care if you have a hair bun. I don't care if you're getting tampons out of the boys' bathroom. The bottom line is those are personal choices. I don't care. Put on a dress. Doesn't bother me. Don't care. You're not in my life. But other than putting on a dress, what is it about Kamala Harris and Tim Walz that you think is make your life better? Until we can have those kind of conversations with each other, we are going to be hopelessly divided. It's based upon personal ideology and has nothing to do with what's good for America. They can't. And it's so idiotic that they don't understand that a lot of the policies that they're clapping for would basically be detrimental to their own lives. Not livelihood, lives. You want to walk around in Times Square and on college campuses going, yeah, free Palestine or queers for Palestine? Mm-hmm. Go over there and do it. See what happens. Unless you can learn how to fly, you're going to find out what happens. Embracing the ideology of people who hate you versus trying to communicate with people who don't, with people who would like to see you prosper. There's not a single person in this chat who wouldn't say to you, you know what, I understand you got this alternative lifestyle. Spiritually, I ain't in it. But you know what? Let's talk. Let's find that common ground. Can we find that common ground? That's what the entire thing with Trump is doing right now. I saw people get upset. Well, he's getting friendly with RFK Jr. and, he's not really conservative. So, finding the common ground. Fighting the common enemy. Well, Tulsi Gabbard, she wasn't really conservative. She was a Democrat. So, we're at war. At war, you want the people in the foxhole who are best suited for what you're going up against. Joe Rogan, get your ass in here. Joe, we're calling you. Elon Musk, come on in here. We need to build the biggest coalition possible. We need to overwhelm the voting precincts on November 5th. We need to let people know we're together enough where we just don't want that stuff. We can figure out all the other crap. We're America. We'll get back to, battling about ideology, but this Marxist, socialist, communist BS, no, you can stick that. You can stick that where the sun don't shine. I don't even care if there's a couple of Transformers voting for Trump. I know one, Caitlyn Jenner. You know why? Because his personal, however you want to say it, their personal best interest is best suited with Trump. Even though they're a Transformer. Because they know, wait a second, yeah, I'm living this kind of life, but damn, I got investments, I've got a family, I got to eat, I got property. We'll worry about me being in a dress later. Right now, we need to make sure I'm okay financially and secure and safe in this country. We can always argue about the dress. You ain't going to win that argument with Caitlyn Jenner. But the commonality of saying, hey man, you okay with all these newcomers? Hell no. You okay with 60-70% tax rate? You okay with making people lose their jobs if they don't get jobs? So we have more in common than we do in difference. I ain't into the dress thing, but we got some stuff to talk about here. And I'm sure I've seen you buy property. I've seen you make money, do commercials. I remember the Wheatie box, right? You got some money, right? Yeah. So the only thing right now we need to set aside is that the dress thing you're hanging out in. Yeah. All right, come on. Let's get rid of Kamala. I'll worry about talking to you about this later. Actually, I won't, because I don't give a shit. You want to put that on? Go ahead. Protect America. That's where the difference is right now. When I watched that video with white dudes for Harris, and it just could not get out of my mind when that guy said, it's toxic masculinity telling me I need to protect my family and take care of them. Dude, trust me, you put that out on the internet, you ain't going to have to worry about that, okay? Ain't no woman looking at you going, damn, he doesn't want to have to take care of me? He doesn't want to have to provide for me? I'm going to have to bounce, okay? Even him, though. I could sit down with him and say, I understand your ideology. You don't think you should have to take care of women. You want to wear a hair bun. Fine. But you have a business where you go to work and you can go through the policies one at a time. What exactly is keeping you from doing the right thing for not just yourself, but for America? Unfortunately, most of the times you can't talk to these people. And as such, we have to stomp them like the bugs they are on November 5th. And that's where you come in. He's already lost Wisconsin. Hundreds of thousands. Grow up, Junior. Maybe Waltz used them himself. Maybe. And it's funny because now so many of the policies that Trump is pushing, Kamala is pushing. So there's even less difference. So what exactly are you talking about? Even though I wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her, and I could probably throw her a fair distance, you can't flip-flop like that on your ideology. You can't do it. All right, so before I go, I just want to remind you guys, some of you guys may have been late, but we are going to, and I say we, myself and my wife, are going to fly a winner down here to South Florida, put you up in a hotel, pay for your airfare, 3 days, 2 nights in a hotel, and then myself and my wife, my lovely wife, will take you out to dinner. You get to hang out at the beach, do what you want. Free. Completely free. It's me giving back to my community. I know many of you, right now, many of you may be struggling, and this could be something that really helps your life. When you see those tips come in, the super chats and stuff, this is what I look to do. I look to make somebody's life better. Little things. So if you'd like to win an all-expense-paid trip to South Florida, what I need you to do, and what you should do, is go here. Check this out. Go to fanfareshop.org/enter-trip/. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is fill out a couple fields, basically name, address, phone number, And that's it. And you're going to be entered to win a free trip to South Florida. That's my lovely wife in the red there. That's my beautiful wife in the red. And then that's me sitting right next to her. Love to have you. And it's only made possible by the good people who end up, I always say donating, but good people who come in here and provide these super chats, which I will acknowledge right now because it makes me so happy to be able to give back. It makes Robin so happy. And we truly mean it. We did this a couple months ago. We had a couple come down from, where were they? North Carolina. And it was just an awesome time. We had they did their own thing. And then we had our dinner and it was awesome. And it was amazing. Talking to people, talked about Trump, talked about life, and just had a good time going through everything. So let me thank everybody who contributed today. Let me put this up. And I gotta go. Those of you who don't like sitting through this, thank you anyway for viewing this today. But I have to go through this. All right, so without further ado, thank you to Bob Lee. Thank you, Tiny. Kamala's going nursery rhyme or dumb one-liner she made up like something profound. She's not intelligent. No, she's not. Tiny twice, thank you. The debate will be bigger than the Super Bowl. Maybe the most watched presidential debate today. I wouldn't doubt that. No Name, how you doing, man? You're back. Tiny, third time. I'm not with her. No Name again. I support Barry here. Please look at his information in other places. Yes, join me on X, Barry Cunningham. That's all you need to know. I'm there. Rebecca, love your show. Keep up the great work, and God bless you and your family, and to you as well. Freedom fans, thank you. Tiny again. She wants to change debate rules to make it easy. Nope, no change. It's gonna stand. No notes. Can't talk. Muted mic. Got to be there. Do it the right way. Angelina, we need to pray our way into the White House. Absolutely. No Name again. Thank you. Follow Barry on X as well. Love you, follow Barry, because I can put out so many different things. See, YouTube, I can only do so many videos, long form. But on X, when I do, I may put out 15 or 20 tweets, X posts per day, and lots of content. Do your job, Secret Service from Tiny. Kate Callahan, thank you, moderators, for making the trolls disappear. I got to give these guys a big hand myself. We had, let me see, the last time I checked, we were over 15,000. Right, as of right now, we had 17,000 comments today. 17,000 plus, actually 17,400. That's a crap load of comments. And a lot of them were trolls, and these guys worked their butt off. Gonna have to get them a little stipend as well. Tidy says truck drivers for Trump. Dominic, thank you. Bounty on all newcomers turned in by Americans like Dog the Bounty Hunter. 1,000 turned in. We can cut the newcomers by 50% within 1 year. I think a lot of them would self-deport at that point. Nanny Ortiz, our young generation needs to work. Reminder, yeah, they need to remember what work is. Lori Solari, thank you. Barry, you're awesome. Thank you very much, Lori. Tiny again. Kamala will recite a series of nursery rhymes. That's all she's going to have is zingers. I'm from the UK. Donald is just awesome. And Barry, of course, thank you, Skunky. Honeybee, vote Trump. Acadiengle, thank you very much. Mike McCarthy, America will always stand tall with Trump. Thank you, Brad Johnson. Donna, Trump is telling us to pray a lot these days. I've noticed at least 2 meetings. Also, awesome. Speaking of pray a lot, this Thursday we're having our next prayer meeting as well, so I'll put that up. If you haven't been to one of our prayer meetings, I bring out a local pastor that works with me. I'm not the pastor, he's the pastor, and we pray and for people's requests and try to help people out. John Garcia, very good friends of mine from England and Germany. Hope Trump wins. New York Mets, vote Trump. Sorry, Red Sox fan here, but thank you. Barbara Foley, thank you. We love you, Trump. The Demo Party, his Democrat Party is fake life. Free Bird, what song is it you want to hear? Thank you. Honeybee, please like and subscribe. Great job, Barry. Thank you very much. Honeybee again, like for MAGA. Fazul, $3. Thank you. Honeybee again, Trump. Hanaka Duplessis. Where is Zayar? Is that I don't know where the ZAR. I wonder where ZAR is. I have to look that up. But thank you for being an overseas contributor. Carrie Lamont, thank you. I went too fast. Okay. Jason Pogo, Detroit for Trump. Detroit Rock City. Navistrella, thank you. Latinos for Trump. Thank you very much. Just Rock, props to Barry and his beautiful wife. You guys are true patriots. Much love. Thank you for having me. Thank you for coming on. Man is only good as his word. Trump is just that. Jamie, Nikki Dawson, and Ricardo Ramirez, thank you for all you do. Thank you very, very much. I think I got everybody. I hope I didn't forget anybody. You guys are great. I really appreciate all the stuff that you do. And one last time, I just want to tell you, if you want to enter to win a free all-expense-paid trip to South Florida, go ahead and go fanfareshop.org/enter-trip. That's fanfareshop.org/enter-trip. So you're going to see probably a lot of stuff on there if you try to click around that's not relevant anymore. I just had to get this thing up today. Ashley and I are working on getting a full site, full store put together, and hopefully we'll have a lot of things done and revamped by Tuesday. So just go ahead and enter. Talk to you guys probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. We'll probably take some time, and gonna go to dinner tonight in about an hour or so, and look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Trump did fantastic today. Thank you very much. Thank you, mods, very much. Get ready. Super Bowl's on Tuesday. It's going to be crazy. Talk to you soon.